Okay, James, thank you very much. We have the Lady Cats and the Bullard Lady Panthers tonight. And this is, in effect, a warm-up game for the playoffs. Both of these teams will be in the playoffs. Tony, both with very good records. We're going to have a very competitive softball game here tonight.
We hadn't had very many of these in Sulphur Springs, so this is an ideal way to get in here, and it's just starting. Come on out, watch some ball.
Lady Cats are 23-5. They went 8-0 in district play. They are ranked 14th in the state in 4A. Bullard comes in here 25-7-1. They went 10-0 in their district, and they are ranked 25th in the state. So two state-ranked teams here tonight. And there's no standings or playoff rankings or anything of that nature at stake here. But still, I would think these kids are going to be pretty up for
they don't like
this
to
game.
Lose.
Right.
This is it, and it's their job and the coach's job to get them primed. But the biggest thing is they need to both be looking at the other one saying, I don't like to lose, and I'm not going into the playoffs on a losing record.
Mm-hmm. Lady Cats played Tuesday night against White House. That was another playoff warm-up game in effect, and another good team. White House 21-9. They went 10-3 in their district, and the Lady Cats won that game 10-5. Lady Cats softball brought to you by Alliance Bank, BT Medical, City National Bank, Masco Equipment, Wesley House Assisted Living, Farm Country, Hooten's Hardware, and CPI Technologies, also the University Interscholastic League. And in a moment or two, we will have the national anthem, but we're going to have player introductions here. And so we will take a break, come back, and we'll have the starting lineups, and we'll have the national anthem performed live this evening by Brett Boatman when Lady Cat Softball continues after this on KSST. Lady Cats and the Bullard Lady Panthers from Lady Cats Park tonight. Leading off for Bullard, Kristen Malone at shortstop. Brooklyn Brannon, the pitcher, will bat second. Peyton Walker, the second baseman, bats third. Carter Swanson, the designated player, is the cleanup hitter. She'll hit for Kaylin Mercer in right field. Emery Baker, the third baseman, bats fifth. Kenzie Roberts, the left fielder, bats sixth. Batting seventh, Denham Bowles, the first baseman. Batting eighth, the center fielder Hudson Walker, and batting ninth Lila Robertson, the catcher. And for the Lady Cats, leading off Baylor Boatman at third base, Hannah Speed batting second, the pitcher, Shaylee Friddle, the catcher, batting third. The cleanup hitter Claire Thompson in right field, Addison Woodall at first base batting fifth, KK Montgomery in left field batting sixth, Gracie Thompson batting seventh at shortstop, Braylee Blevins batting eighth at second base, and Allison Frazier batting ninth in center field. Here is Brett Boatman with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Brett Boatman, the brother of Lady Cat Baylor Boatman, with the national anthem and a fine rendition, Tony.
That's something else that's nice to have out here at Lady Cat Park that nobody else does. Fine job by that young man. Now it's time to buckle up because we're at Wrigley South with the wind blowing out tonight. The ball is going to fly.
Lady Cats will play in by-district against Wills Point. And Thursday evening at 6 p.m. will be the first game at Community. That's in the town of Nevada. We've been there before. And at a very familiar venue for the Lady Cats. Game 2 will be Friday night at 5 p.m. and then Game 3, if necessary, will follow after that 5 p.m. game on Friday night. Wills Point, Tony, 22-9 for the season. They went 5-4 in district play, so a tough district. Community is in that district.
Okay.
But Lady Cats beat them last year in by-district. You may recall, and it was at Community.
Yes.
11-2 and 27-6.
Yeah, I remember thinking that, have the calf rope in there on that 27-6.
But that was a young team, and obviously they have gotten a lot better in a year's time. So I don't expect those games to go like that at all next week.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm charged up. I'm ready for them to get here. These girls have worked hard. They're primed at the right time. I'm anxious to see if. I'm assuming Bullard's probably going to start with their number 1 on mound, and we are tonight. This is playoff caliber.
Lady Cats pitching is speed and catching is Friddle.
So Lady Cats go with Hannah Speed on the mound with a 13-3 record, a 1.67 ERA. She has struck out 158 batters and walked 43. In 84 innings pitched, so just about 2 strikeouts per inning. Opponent's batting average against Hannah Speed, 163.
That actually is surprising to me that it's that high. I would have thought she would have been in the 110s to 120s.
And just a junior.
Just a junior.
She windmills the arm, and the first pitch is in there for a strike, but Tony is going to have to leave early this evening for another event, so I'm going to let you do play-by-play here in the first inning.
I was sleeping already. Yeah, I've got to get out of here about 30, 45 minutes, but I wanted to check it out. So started it off with an 0-1 count. Hannah's got her sign. Here comes the next pitch. Squares to bunt, but pulls back. It's way high, so 1-1. Bowman was charging from third and Woodall from first. We're well versed in how to work that bunt. And Hannah, of course, is a great fielder up the middle. So you get on base against the Lady Cats with a bunt, you've either shocked us or hit something perfect for the most part.
Hannah Speed could play any position on the field.
She sure can. She can come up here and call this game, I guarantee you. Next pitch is up high. 2-1.
Lady Cats around the infield. Baylor Boatman at third, Gracie Thompson at short, Brayley Blevins at second base, the freshman Addison Woodall at first base. She's made a big impact this season.
Absolutely. Here comes the next pitch, squares and offers and whiffs at it, so now we're going to go 2-2.
In the outfield, KK Montgomery in left, Allison Frazier in center, Claire Thompson in right, Shaylee Friddle behind the dish for the Lady Cats.
I don't expect her to try to bunt with 2 strikes, but bunting is a weapon here at Lady Cat Park because of the sand infield. Here comes the 2-2, swung on and fouled way out of play. The ball was up in her eyeballs, but she liked it. But normally you play on turf, and it's really hard to bunt and get on base. But with the sand in the infield here at Lady Cat Park, it's a weapon. We've used it a little, but not as much. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Hannah, and it's up tall. She's having a little bit of issue with that height right now. They've been over the plate, but going full to the first batter, so let's see if she can bear down and make her hit. Again, we've got an outstanding defense behind her, and that's hard to make a pitcher realize. Here comes the pitch, and it's up and away, so she starts off with ball 4 and the walk to the opening batter. Looked like she's overthrowing a little bit.
Brooklyn Brennan.
So that's going to bring up Brooklyn Brennan, the pitcher, the opposite for Bullard, and she is a tall drink of water. I'm going to say she's 6'1", maybe 6'2", right-handed batter. Here comes pitch 1. She squares, bunts it foul, and the runner was moving on the play. So that's going to go as 0-1.
And if she is 6'1", she's a very lean 6'1".
One thing we better watch too is that runner at first was rounding second, so we better have somebody covering for Baylor if they do lay it down, or she's going to try to get 2 bases.
I was concerned when Shaley was chasing that pitch that went back to the screen. Here's the pitch.
Little bit in or up, 1-1.
That she was a little casual about it, and that the runner might go to second base.
Yep.
But that did not happen.
So it looks like that it may be that Bullard's going to be aggressive. Brennan's up on the box and toward the plate a little. Shaley's setting up for that outside and high square, but not there. And Hannah is struggling right now with her location. Real wide on the up and away ball. So she's going to have to get her release point messed with, and she'll figure it out. So we're coming in with a 2-1 pitch, and here it comes. Squares, that's a hard bunt to Woodall at first, and she didn't, so that's going to go as a fielder's choice. Thompson was covering second base, but she didn't turn around and get her, so I'm going to give her a fielder's choice. So the first 2 runners are on for Bullard. Bring up a number 3 hitter, Peyton Walker, the second baseman, and a left-hander, so we'll see if they might choose to use that bunt again. Looks like they may like to play small ball and see how you react. Here it comes. She squared like she was coming, but she let it go. Runner got a big lead at second, but didn't go, and Gracie was covering for Boatman at third like she should.
On the bunt by Brannon, she ran right by Addison Woodall as she fielded the ball.
Yep.
Here's the pitch.
They call that one outside, so it's a 2-0 count now. So we need Hannah to get in. Yeah, I don't know if she was confused because she almost got there in time to try to make a sweep.
Yeah, a tag.
But it would have been close on throwing it. There's the next pitch, and that one's in there up and outside. Oh, I put my head down, and on the throw back, the runner from second, they didn't make her go back, and she stole third. So Bullard's coming in here loaded for bear. So now runners at first and third, nobody out. 1-2 count coming to number 3 hitter, second baseman Walker. That's one, and I've seen that more this year, where as soon as, if you don't get that runner back, as soon as they throw to the pitcher, there's the next pitch fouled off, so we're going to go at 2-2. But I've been watching some college women's ball too, and same thing. If they you get these where sometimes the minute they catch it, they're throwing it back quick, and they'll time that, and you give them an inch, and they'll take that base. And these people are quick nowadays. So first and third, no outs. 2-2 pitch coming. A little bit outside, so we're going to go full again. So Hannah's throwing lots of pitches in this top of the first inning.
A couple of pitches ago, Baylor Boatman was more than halfway down the line at third base, but now she's back at a more normal position.
Yeah. There we go. Swung on and missed. That was one of those where left-hander was running up on him trying to slap him. She missed it. So first strikeout of the game for Hannah, and that brings up Carter Swanson, the designated hitter, right-handed batter. So now we've got an opportunity for a double play and get out of the inning. Baylor's moved in some. We'll see whether or not they're going to run their pitcher. Hannah's got her sign now. Here comes that first pitch. She's squaring, pulls it back, and they just threw it to second. That was a good job. Planned play where Thompson came and cut it, or Braley Blevins, the second baseman, I'm sorry, came in and caught the run. They were wanting to deke the runner and see if they could throw her out at home, but it didn't work. So now a base hit gets 2 runs unless it's a really sharp hit. So that one went as a strike on Swanson, so that was 0-1. I don't think she'll be squaring again. I think she only squared there to give the runner an opportunity to go to second. mission accomplished there, so she's probably hitting. Here comes the pitch in the dirt. Shaley does a really good job of trapping that one. The girl at third, Malone, is very aggressive on the base, so she's not going to ask for very much of an opportunity to steal home. 1-1 pitch coming, outside, 2-1. That's still one of those where I know they're told to do that, but if you're getting that far out, you're not even throwing a competitive pitch. Now, I just don't agree with that. So 2-1, here comes the throw, and Ayers moved it in and got the called strike there.
Looked like a breaking ball.
Yeah, a little bit of speed change, but again, it wasn't over in the right or left-handed batter's box, and when they're setting up there, the umpire's already got his mind made up. You throw it to you, that's a ball. Here comes the next one, swung on and missed. They went upstairs that time. Well, I had it that was 3 strikes, so it's now 3 balls. So I moved one somewhere, so it's a 3-2 now. I think we'll probably see that next pitch because she's not going to catch up with that tall one, I don't believe. Kind of squaring, trying to get Hannah's concentration. There it was. She barely foul-tipped it and hung in there. Shaley couldn't quite hold on to it. Batter's kind of squaring like she wants to make us think she's going to bunt, but she's not in this situation, or she's going to be a really good actor. So Hannah's back on the mound again, and we're going to go with a full count pitch again. Here it comes. There's a big fly, but it's well out of park foul, so that woke people up a little bit, but it wasn't. It was in a good position where she had to hit it foul if she hit it.
Out in front of that one a little bit, but really made great contact.
Yep. Now I'm hoping we come down and away. Here comes the next pitch. There's a ball hit foul past Boatman at third. Carrillo makes a good foot save.
Swanson seems to now have found the range on the last couple of pitches. She looked overmatched on a couple of those, but now she's getting solid contact.
I think we'll see it. I think we'll see it straight up in her bill or up and away. Here it comes. And it was up and away, and the bases are loaded. So Hannah's got to find the zone.
Now batting number 19, third baseman.
Third baseman Emery Baker comes up now. Bases loaded, only one out. So we've got infield fly, and we've got a force at every base. So Friddle is telling everybody what to do. Infield is in a little bit because they've shown the propensity to play small ball, so they might want to manufacture any way they can. Here comes pitch number 1. Must have been down because it was okay on the left-right. Ball 1. Shaley moved out like she's been on those give-up calls, but the ball was off of her left knee, which put it back. So I don't know if it confused him or was actually a ball. Next pitch, another give-up, 2-0. It's apparent Bullard's not going to go for that pitch, so we're going to have to bring it in, take our chances. Outfield's pretty straight away and fairly deep. There's another one fouled off to the left field or the third base side. 2-1 coming up.
We saw Hannah Speed pitch out of jams like this again and again and again last year.
Yep.
I think back especially to that third game in the or was it the second game, I guess, in the Gilmer playoffs.
That was that was one of the best nights of the year for the Lady Cats. That was action-packed ball for a lot of hours.
But over and over again, she pitched out of tough situations.
So here she comes with a 2-1 pitch, going for it outside now. Took a little off and had her in front. Great pitch, and we got to 2-2. So, that's another thing. You got people that are getting the bat out and getting the barrel on the ball and fouling it off at third. Take a little bit off and trust your mechanics. You should be getting a swing and a miss. So here we go at 2-2. There's the ball hit to right field. Claire Thompson's under it. She's got it. Comes in. That's going to be a sacrifice. There's the ball thrown back to first. So that was deep enough. It was going to score the first run anyway. So that's a sacrifice fly for Baker.
Number 2, left fielder, Roberts.
Second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Kenzie Roberts. The hitter was only able to get to first. Claire threw the ball all the way through, but it was cut off by Hannah, and they almost had a play on her at first. So first and third, 2 outs now. Lady Cats wanting to get out of this inning, whatever it takes. Timeout called as the batter gets ready. Hannah was taking a little too long. Now we're set back in. First pitch is up. Swung on the top edge of it, 0-1.
She's not lacking any speed.
No, she's just dealing with her release point, and when you do as many as she has this inning, 2 walks and everything, and she's thrown lots of pitches, so she's just on the release. There we go. Ball's thrown through. They're trying to steal a run. Now we're going to have nope, they're going to just let them go. The second runner from first went, and they threw all the way through, and the third baseman runner was trying to steal home, and we cut her off, so it's well done. You give up the stolen base, but that's not the end of the world.
That was Gracie Thompson, the shortstop, wasn't it? Cutting in to take that throw a little bit short of the bag at second, and then she made a good throw home.
Yep.
And prevented the runner from coming in.
And there's a pitch on the 0-2 count, swung on and missed for strike 3. So 2 strikeouts there. But Bullard comes up with 1 run. I don't think they had a hit. No hits. Did they? No, they didn't have any hits. No errors and 2 left on base. So we're going to the bottom of the first, 1-0 Bullard.
And this Lady Cat softball on KSST. Lady Cat softball on KSST. Good crowd of folks here at Lady Cats Park. Still plenty of room for you to come out and join them. But Bullard brought a lot of people.
Yeah. Friday night, where else you going to go? You got folks that like softball. Come on down.
And a lot of folks in their own chairs lined up down the third base line and the first base line. The Lady Cats fans to the third base side where the Lady Cats dugout is, and the Bullard fans lined up there along the backstop on the first base side.
That's parents and grandparents row.
Yeah.
They're the staples. They'll be here if it's 40 degrees and sleet. They'll still have their chairs.
Leading off for the Lady Cats, number 7.
So we're going to start the bottom of the first with Baylor Boatman, Hannah Speed, and Shaylee Friddle. And I don't think anybody in the Northeast Texas area has got 3 starting batting in the batting order that are better than them. I wouldn't swap for them. So again, we got that tall drink of water, Brennan, on the mound. Let's see what, I didn't watch what her speed was, if she's a speed or a junker. Baylor's dug in, and here comes pitch number 1. Up and away, had a pretty good zip on it, but I tell you what, there was elbows and hands going everywhere on that. She's up on her toe. That may get aggravating.
Who was the San Francisco Giants pitcher about a decade ago? Tall, thin.
Next pitch up and behind.
Right.
2-0. I can't remember.
His name will come to me.
One that I'm thinking is not like that, but it was aggravating enough is Fidrich.
Right, that was the other one.
She's not crawling on the ground yet, but her delivery is odd. And I mean, she's got arms everywhere. Yeah. Here comes the 2-0, and there's one. Baylor had a good cut on it, foul back for 2-1.
Baylor Boatman hitting .430 for the Lady Cats with 37 base hits. She has 3 homers.
I want her to get one here in the home crowd. I don't remember if she got one the other day when we hit 4 or not. She deserves one here. So Brennan's ready on the 3-0. There's off the count of on the fifth, so that was 2-1, so now we're going 2-2. Good swing by Baylor. She's a powerful, powerful young hitter.
But you wouldn't think so to look at her.
senior leadership in the leadoff role. We got a 2-2, and here comes the next shot. Fouled off. She's hanging tough. Baylor's right on it. Looks good. Her swing looks good. So we're going to try that one again. Again, the wind is blowing out. I think they're a little bit, they're in a little bit too far. They'll learn. Here comes the 2-2 count. And there's one up tall, and we'll see what the wind does. Center fielder looks like she's got it. Yep, she does. So that's just going to go a straight fly out to center field for the first out.
Now batting the pitcher.
Pretty well
1,
struck, but she
Hannah.
just got it too tall. So that's going to bring up our pitcher, Hannah Speed, who I didn't check. Is she still on 13 homers?
No, not quite. She has 21 home runs.
Mercy, where have I been? Well, I've been checking the Dallas paper, and 20 was leading their area, 6A and all. There's the first pitch, and it's outside at the knees. They've tried to frame it.
Batting average, .641.
She's just your average number 2 hitter. So she's got her the 1-0 count coming up, and here comes the long windup. Way tall. 1-1. A lot of times when it's pitcher against pitcher, whoever it is going to overthrow. They're going to show them who's boss. Got that mano a mano. But I'm here to tell you, I played a lot of fast pitch softball, but that figuring out your release point from her with all that movement, that's tough. Here comes the 2-0. Little too far outside, 3-0. That one was on the left-handed batter's box line. You got to get it in between.
Tim Lincecum is who I was trying to think of a few moments ago. Great pitcher for the Giants a few years back. Similar, very lanky, lean build.
So here comes the 3-0. Way tall, and Hannah's going to take ball 4. So 1 out with a runner on first.
Now hitting the catcher, number 2, Shaylee Friddle.
Shaylee Friddle coming up, powerful catcher for the Lady Cats, and we're going to have Chloe Johnson going to pinch run for Hannah as normal. And as good an athlete as Hannah is, Chloe's a little quicker.
First base, number 3, Chloe Johnson.
Hannah's telling Shaylee what to think. She may be saying she looks like a stork, just wait on it, and it'll eventually come out of her hands. Because she is a tall drink of water, I'm here to tell you.
And Shaylee is quite tall herself.
She is.
Again, she may very well be 6 feet tall.
Yep.
We don't have the heights and obviously the weights on these girls.
So 1 out. Shaylee Friddle's first pitch up and away. Catcher does a good job just to hold on to that one. So Brennan's having somewhat the same trouble that Hannah did with the release point.
Friddle batting .500 for the Lady Cats with 40 base hits. Just a sophomore.
Oh, yeah, that's what's fun to talk about. Here comes the next pitch. Check swing. She went through, and I thought she did. 1-1. Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, the last game we had was senior night, and we have 3 seniors.
That's right.
So the future is still bright.
Baylor Boatman was one.
Here's the next pitch, bounces in, took a little off on that one, but didn't have the control like Hannah did. So we got a 2-1 count.
KK Montgomery and Gracie Thompson are the other Lady Cat seniors.
They're going to hurt, but we got a lot of folks in reserve, and I have no clue what we've got on freshmen coming up. Here comes next pitch, foul back. Shaylee was on that one. So we're going to go 2-2 next. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Bullard over the Lady Cats at Sulphur Springs. Come on out. The crowd looks good. It's Friday night. You don't have to work tomorrow. You can go downtown and eat when you get done. Brennan's got the sign. Here starts that wind-up. Took some off, but bounced it. Chloe's, get back, Chloe. You don't have time to look at the coach and decide if you're going to go. Yeah. So that's where the difference in a Hannah Speed. Hannah Speed would have been at second base because she has that instinct. Chloe's young, not a criticism, but that's the difference when you know what you want to do and you have it on your mind before. Full count pitch coming. Shot to shortstop, took a bad hop, and everybody's going to be safe. That was, fortunately, she got the glove up, so I'm going to give that the base hit. That was a hard hit ball.
Now batting number 23, right fielder, Claire
Shortstop, I don't think would have gotten her, but it was hit hard, and Chloe did a good job coming in. So now we've got first and second with Claire Thompson coming up, another one of our power-hitting outfielders.
Now running at first base, number 18, Riley Friddle.
Riley Friddle, who seems like you were questioning if this is her first game or not. I'm figuring she's obviously Shaylee's sister. She looks a whole lot like her, but she's pinch. So we got 2 pinch runners. Could add speed, but you sacrifice some savvy possibly. So here comes Claire buckling in, and Brennan's getting ready for pitch number 1. Up tall, just like Hannah again, having trouble with that release point.
You mentioned Claire as one of the Lady Cats' power hitters. She has 6 homers.
Yep.
And 28 RBIs, 467 batting average.
We've got some pretty healthy figures down here. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Got that one on the upper edge, going to go 1-1. Again, we don't. Go ahead.
Lady Cats as a team, Tony, batting .454.
That's pretty healthy.
We're referring to the overall team hitting.
Mm-hmm. All right, here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's that one on the outside corner. That was one he will call. So we got 1 and 2. So let's see if Claire can buckle down, get a hit, and get us off that 0.
Hey, go hard,
Pitcher looking into the dugout. Everybody in the dugouts calls the pitch, and here comes the 1-2. Fouled off. She took a good, healthy cut and hung in there. If she hadn't leaned in, she would have never touched it. So that was a good job of trying to reach that outside pitch.
Claire's another good-sized girl. I don't think she would be 6 feet tall, but close to it.
She's pretty close.
And she's close, and she's powerfully built.
Yep. Here comes the 1-2. Up tall, 2-2.
Lady Cats have 49 homers as a team, and I have it that last year, all of last season, including the playoffs, they had 25.
It's been flying out. And like I said, I looked at the Dallas News, and if I'm not mistaken, 20 or 21 is leading the area there. There's the next pitch down and under. Had a good stop by the catcher. That was a 2-2 count, so we're going to go full here on Claire Thompson, the cleanup hitter for the Lady Cats. 2 on, 1 out. Lady Cats down 1 in the bottom of first. Fixing to change that attitude. Here's the wind. There it is. Base hit past second base. That's center field. That's going to get 2 plated. Well, just 1. That's all right. That ball was well hit. Threw it on the outside, and she did what she's supposed to. Second baseman had no chance. In fact, I actually thought right field or center fielder might not even get to it.
That's what I thought, too. I wondered if she was going to cut it off.
She did a good job. But Riley Friddle didn't get to third base. The ball was hit so hard that they got it back in, and she nearly got trapped off of there. So that's a way to erase a 1-0 lead coming in, show them who's boss. Now we've got our left-handed power stroke and first baseman, Addie Woodall, freshman, coming up, and she doesn't play like a freshman, I'm here to tell you.
.507 batting average, 36 base hits, 5 homers.
Yeah. Runners at first and second, so the infield fly rule is in. Here comes pitch number 1 on the outside corner for a strike.
And when you look at her, left-handed hitter, you just think of Abby Goldsmith, who was the Lady Cats' first and plays first base.
Just replaced her. That's right.
Goldsmith played first, and they look a lot alike.
Like a clone. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and swung on and missed. That was a little bit tall. She kind of wished she hadn't swung, but that might have gotten called anyway. So Addie's got a 0-2 count. Let's see if she can have a little chat with herself and see what to do here. Brennan's got called. Here comes the pitch. There's one fouled off, and Addie looked pretty good on that one. She was down where it needed to be, just barely got under it. So we'll reset again. Again, runners at first and second. One out. 0-2 count to Addie. Bottom of the first. Tie ball game already. And here comes the pitch. Down and away. Bullard folks don't like that one. They're asking the Blue a little bit of where it was, but that's softball. So we're going to do it again at 1-2. Addie gets in there, and she really looks determined. Way up tall with that one, tried to overthrow it and go into 2-2. So this is a big action pitch here because they don't want to go full, let the runners get a start on anything, even with one out. So Addie's doing a good job of making them pitch. Let's see if she can get the end result. Here it comes. There's a pop-up, looked like the third. Maybe it's going to get out of play. Nope, stayed in, and third baseman got it right up against the screen. So that's an F5. That's a big out for Bullard. I really thought with the wind it might get out of there if she'd live.
6, left fielder, KK Montgomery.
Great job by the third baseman, Emery Baker, of concentrating on the ball. She was right up against the screen, and there is a brick retaining wall that you can run into.
And she went to it and came back just a little, too. That's what you need to do, is not keep going where you run into it.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring up KK Montgomery, one of the other seniors for the Lady Cats, with 2 outs, and that's sure not like throwing in the towel for the inning. Here comes pitch number 1. There's a off the hands, and the catcher made a great dive for it, but couldn't quite hold on to it. That was right on KK's hands, so we got an 0-1 count. That's where her problem pitch is all season long, is she stands close to the plate and she strides in that way and even hurts herself more. So if people are scouting, that's where they're going to throw it.
Would have been a great catch by the catcher,
Absolutely.
Lila Roberts,
Just
diving down the first baseline.
Outstanding effort. Here comes the 0-1, up tall, 1-1.
Brannon and the Lady Cats, Hannah Speed, have had similar problems in the first inning.
Yep.
And a lot of high.
I don't know if that wind on the pitch that's affecting the hitters. I have no idea if that's having any effect on the field here. So here comes the 1-1. Hadn't looked, must have been down because it looked good everywhere else. KK's good job. KK does a good job. She doesn't swing. She probably will now since I'm saying it. But she has pretty good command of the strike zone. That's my only fault with her, is crowding the plate and getting jammed. So let's see right here. Doesn't use a glove on either hand. That's odd. Here comes the 2-1. There's strike 2. 2-2 count. Now we'll see whether or not Coach Carrillo wants to put any kind of play on and try to move the runners up in case, stay out of a double play and make them make a decision. Here comes the 2-2. Fouled off and just couldn't quite hold on to it. So it's a good swing by KK right on it.
KK Montgomery, by the way, 4 home runs this season.
Number 5 would look real good right now. She'd knock that sea of Lady Cats, knock a little hole in that on that scoreboard. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Up, she reached and struck out there, so that's going to be the inning. So that's going to be a strikeout, third out of the inning. So we came up with 1 run. I think we just had, or we had 2 hits. I think I have 2 down there. 2 singles in a row. No errors and 2 left on. And a strikeout there. So at the end of 1, it's 1-0, and we'll be back at Lady Cats Park.
1-1, the Lady Cats and Bullard tied, and this is Lady Cats softball on KSST. Going to the top of the second inning, a 1-1 game between the Lady Cats and Bullard in this warm-up game for the playoffs for both teams. Both teams will be in by-district play this coming week. Lady Cats will be playing Wills Point Thursday and Friday at Community, and Bullard will be playing Vidor. I'm not sure where they're going to be playing, but Vidor will be their opponent.
Leading off for Bullard.
So this is a non-district game, but two top teams
Wolves.
facing off against each other here as the Lady Cats come in with a record of 23-5, and Bullard comes in here 25-7. Lady Cats ranked 14th in the state, Bullard ranked 25th.
They're just about shake them out of a bottle even.
Denham Bowles leads it off for Bullard. She is the first baseman, and the first pitch swung on and hit to third. Baylor Boatman bobbles it slightly, but then controls it, makes a nice throw over to Addison Woodall for the putout on the first pitch.
Mighty good play by Baylor there. That ball crawled up her glove and got off her heel. She caught it with the meat hand and took her time, made a really strong throw. So that's a great job of not – sometimes people bobble a little and they get excited. That was great.
Yep. Kept her head. Here is Hudson Walker, the pitcher. Is that right? No, she's the center fielder.
We got two walkers.
Center fielder, Hudson Walker, and the first pitch misses for ball one. She's the number 8 hitter in the batting order, so this is the lower third of the order for the Bullard Lady Panthers. Hannah Speed in the circle for the Lady Cats. Looking in for the sign, and windmills the arm, swung out and missed the pitch, and it is 1-1.
Good pitch. Shaylee sets up where I still call it a give up, but she went for it. But it's not going to get called right there.
By that you mean she's setting up outside?
Setting up on the left-handed batter's box, and it's going right over that, and no umpire that should be paid is going to call that one a strike. That's where I would rather have her set up pretty well on the right edge and have her be showing the glove a little bit to the right.
Hannah Speed struck out 2 and walked 2 in the first inning. There's a fastball for a strike on the inside edge.
Go ahead, that's fine.
Count 2-2.
My big deal here is out of the first 4 pitches or 5 pitches, she has completely gotten her release point down, and all of them have been level.
Yep.
That speaks well and of experience.
And the 2-2 pitch. Line drive. Oh, great leaping catch by Baylor Boatman at third base.
She looked like a 6'3" basketball player there. Quick hands, perfect play.
Catcher Lila Robertson.
That was headed for the left field corner. But Baylor Boatman flung her mid up there and dragged it back down.
Yep.
What a play. So 2 out and nobody on. Game tied at 1-1, top of the second. Number 9 hitter in the order, Lila Robertson, the catcher, right-handed batter. And the pitch way up high to her. That's the first high pitch, excessively high pitch we've seen from Hannah Speed this inning, but she struggled with it in the first inning. Outfield is pretty deep, especially
should be.
Center fielder Allison Frazier. Well, with the wind blowing out, left fielder K.K. Montgomery and right fielder Claire Thompson. Claire Thompson fighting the sun out there. And this pitch hit back into the net behind home plate. And the count is 1-1.
We can see if Hannah can get rid of her and save some pitches this inning. Let them know a little bit about where they are.
Big right-handed batter here, Lila Robertson, the catcher. A 1-1 count. Speed rocks back, in with the pitch. And just misses off the outside edge, maybe just above the knees, and it is 2-1 to Lila Robertson. The leadoff hitter, Kirsten Malone, the shortstop, who walked, stole a base, and scored in the first inning, is on deck. Speed, here's the pitch. And swung on, hit hard, but well foul, and out of play down the left field line.
So that's 2 balls that have been really popped, but when you put them on their hands, there's no way for them to hit it fair. So that sounds good. You know, they can go back and say what if, but that what if's never going to happen if you got it that far in. That's a good job between pitcher and catcher to see where they are.
Again, Friddle sets up outside, and the pitch is right there, but it is called a ball. You have a point there.
Yeah, they're going by the catcher. He knows that if she throws the ball where the catcher is sitting, it's going to be a ball. If you move in 6 inches and reach a little, you're going to get that call. I don't see why they don't look at that. She's on the edge again.
3-2 pitch. Yeah, that is swung on and missed. Shaley drops the ball but throws it to first base, and Addison Woodall for the putout. So up, 3 up and 3 down for Bullard here in the top of the second inning. And Hannah Speed, another strikeout. That gives her 3 for the game. And we go to the bottom of the second with the game tied at 1-1. Lady Cats softball on KSST. Lady Cats softball brought to you by Alliance Bank, BT Medical, City National Bank, Masco Equipment, Wesley House Assisted Living, Farm Country, Hooten's Hardware, CPI Technologies, and the University Interscholastic League. Game is 1-1 going to the bottom of the second inning. Gracie Thompson, Braylee Blevins, and Allison Frazier, 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order for the Lady Cats coming up against Brooklyn Brannon. Tall, lanky pitcher for Bullard. Gracie Thompson, senior shortstop, right-handed batter against the right-handed pitcher. Swinging on the first pitch, he hits it foul into the net down the first base line for strike 1. Gracie Thompson missed a lot of games early in the season, but she's hitting .375, 20 base hits and 53 at-bats, 3 doubles and 6 RBIs. Crouching stance, and the pitch by Brannon swung on and missed. She might have tipped that slightly, but if she did, the catcher Lila Robertson held on to it. So it's 0-2. Outfield, more or less straight away, although the center fielder Hudson Walker may be a step over into right center. Brooklyn Brannon looking in, that hands high over the head as she goes to her windup, and the next pitch bounces in. And it is 1-2 to Gracie Thompson. Braylee Blevins on deck. Wind has let up a good bit from what we were seeing earlier this afternoon. Flag moving a little bit out there in center field, but not like it was before the game. 1-2 pitch. And swung on and missed at a fastball off the plate to the outside edge. And Gracie Thompson goes down on strikes. And now Brannon has struck out 2 Lady Cats in a row. KK Montgomery to end the first, and Gracie Thompson to lead off the second. Braylee Blevins, the second baseman, and a Lady Cat Jr. stepping in here. Another right-handed batter to face Brooklyn Brannon, who's looking into the dugout right now for the sign. And into her wind. And there's a fastball. She has a good fastball, and that one's a strike at the belt. 0-1 to Braylee Blevins. Blevins, a .419 hitter for the Lady Cats with 31 base hits. Crouching stance. Third baseman and first baseman in a couple of steps. Fastball in for strike 2. Brooklyn Brannon, probably the best visiting pitcher we have seen here at Lady Cats Park so far this season. Again, looking to the dugout for the sign, now checks her wrist. And the 0-2 pitch might have been ball 1, but Braylee Blevins, taking no chance, reaches out and fouls it back into the net, and the count holds at 0-2. Game is tied at 1. 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the second for the Lady Cats. Brannon checking the band on her wrist again for the pitch. Again, Blevins just gets a piece of it, hits it foul into the net behind home plate, and the count remains at 0-2. Lady Cats playing Wills Point in the Bi-District Series starting Thursday night at Community. That's in Nevada, more or less between Caddo Mills and Royce City. 0-2 pitch. Fastball off the plate. The umpire says not close enough, and Braylee Blevins back in there for another pitch at 1-2. Good crowd here at Lady Cats Park, and they are a noisy crowd so far tonight. Pitch. Swung on, and Blevins hits it into left field. Pretty well struck. Backing up a couple of steps is Kenzie Roberts, and she makes the catch, but Blevins got the barrel of the bat on it.
8, center fielder.
So 2 out and nobody on.
Frazier.
And so far, the Lady Cat starter, Hannah Speed, and Lady Panthers starter, Brooklyn Brennan, are really matching each other almost pitch for pitch. They each struggled a little bit in the first inning. Hannah Speed put Bullard down 1-2-3 in the second, and Brennan has retired the first two Lady Cats here in the bottom of the second. Allison Frazier, center fielder, up for Sulphur Springs. And the pitch. Oh, that is inside and gets her on that lead shoulder. That hurt, but she didn't show it. And she trots on down to first base, hit by the pitch.
Number 7, third baseman, Baylor.
So top of the order now, Baylor Boatman up for the Lady Cats. Boy, did she make a sensational catch in the top of the second inning, a leaping catch of a line drive that was surely headed for the left field wall. But quick as a cat, she leaped up there and brought it back down. Beautiful play by Baylor on defense. And now she comes up with the runner at first base and 2 out here in the bottom of the second. She flew out to center field in the first. Baylor Boatman, a .430 hitter for the Lady Cats. Leading off, right-handed batter, crouching stance. And Brannon, a fastball, misses away for ball 1. Hannah Speed on deck for Sulphur Springs if Baylor Boatman can get on. Outfield, medium depth and straight away. 1-0 count. Brooklyn Brannon reaches high over her head, comes in with the pitch, and that one also is high for ball 2 to Baylor Boatman. Boatman has 12 doubles, 3 homers, second on the team with 31 runs scored to Hannah Speed, who has 38. Brannon, pitch is high for a ball, 3-0, and all of a sudden now she's battling her control a little bit. Baylor Boatman doesn't offer a very big target. Again, we don't have the heights on these girls, but I'm guessing maybe 5'5", 5'6". 3-0 pitch. And that's called a strike, and that's, I think, a generous call there, a fastball on the outside part of the plate, if it did catch the plate, and maybe up above the belt. So 3-1. Runner at first with good speed, Allison Frazier. 3-1 pitch, 2 out. And that is down and in for ball 4. Base on balls allowed. That is the first walk by Brooklyn Brennan. And now it is Hannah Speed coming up for Sulphur Springs. In a big situation with runners on first and second. 2 out. Game tied at 1-1, bottom of the second. Speed, a .641 hitter coming into the game with 21 home runs. Crouching stands up near the front of the batter's box. And on the first pitch, it is a fastball, and she swings and misses for strike 1. Speed walked and scored in the first inning. Allison Frazier at second, Baylor Boatman at first. Frazier was hit by a pitch. Boatman walked on a 3-2 pitch. Pitch bounces in now to Hannah Speed. And it is 1-1. Outfield, as you would guess, pretty deep. More or less straight away, the center fielder Hudson Walker a step or 2 over into right center. Speed waiting on this 1-1 pitch from Brannon, and that's way up and away for ball 2. Shaylee Friddle on deck for the Lady Cats. And head coach of the Bullard Lady Panthers, Julie Murray, taking a stroll out to the pitcher's circle for a conference here with a 2-1 count on Hannah Speed. 2 out, runners at first and second. See if we can put the field glasses on and maybe read some lips out there, but probably not. But Julie Murray has brought in her infield, and they're having a strategy session right now in the pitcher circle. We told you the Lady Cats taking on Wills Point in the bi-district series Thursday evening at 6 in Nevada at Community High School. Then Friday at 5 will be Game 2, with Game 3 played after Game 2 Friday night if necessary. Wills Point much improved this season at 22-9. So we'll be looking forward to that. Of course, we will have the games for you on KSST. So we're ready to go again. A 2-1 pitch coming up here to Hannah Speed. And Brannon brings it in there, and Speed goes the opposite way, punches it into right field. Here comes the runner around third base. The play at the plate is late, closer than I thought. But coming in to score is Allison Frazier. She did not slide. She went in standing up, and the catcher, Lila Robertson, reaching back, nearly made the tag on her. But a great job of hitting by Hannah Speed, just punching it through the right side for a base hit. And going to third, Baylor Boatman. So runners at first and third. We have the pinch runner for Hannah Speed, or courtesy runner, Chloe Johnson at first base. But for Speed, now that will be 51 RBIs on the season. And the Lady Cats take a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the second inning. Here's Shaylee Friddle. Still just one out. Runners at first and third. Brooklyn Brannon up over the head with her wind up, and now there's a throw to third base that goes into left field, and the run comes in to score. Chloe Johnson trying to go to third base, and she is tagged out. A run comes in to score. That was Baylor Boatman as the catcher, Lila Robertson, tried to throw her out at third base. And then trying to score, Chloe Johnson is thrown out at home plate. And that is the inning for the Lady Cats as they score one run to take a 2-1 lead, and we go to the top of the third. This Lady Cats softball on KSST. Lady Cats lead at 2-1 going to the top of the third inning. Again, there was an attempt to pick off Baylor Boatman at third base, and the throw by the catcher, Lila Robertson, went into left field. Boatman scored. Chloe Johnson at first base, the courtesy runner for Hannah Speed, went to third and tried to score. Or actually simply went to third base and was thrown out, I'm going to say 7-2-5 as Boatman scored, and then Chloe Johnson out at third, trying to go from first to third, and that ended the inning. So Shaylee Friddle will lead off in the bottom of the third for the Lady Cats. She was at bat on that last play. 2-1 though, Sulphur Springs takes a one-run lead here going to the top of the third inning. There was some discussion between innings, between the umpires, as to the play at third base on Chloe Johnson. They had a conversation among themselves. There was some doubt. I'm guessing that Lady Cats head coach David Carrillo called the out call into question, but they decided she was indeed out, and that was that. So now we go to the top of the third. And Kirsten Malone, the shortstop, leads it off for the Bullard Lady Panthers. I think I said to you a moment ago that the score was 2-1. It is now 3-1. Lady Cats scored 2 runs in that inning as Allison Frazier scored on the base hit by Hannah Speed, and then Baylor Boatman scored on the error by the catcher, the throw into left field. So a 3-1 is the Lady Cats lead here over Bullard. And the first pitch is a called strike to Kirsten Malone, leading off the third inning. Hannah Speed rocks back in with the pitch. Ball hit weakly to shortstop. And a nice play there by Gracie Thompson, charging in, aggressively fielding the ball and making the throw, strong throw over to Addison Woodall to get Kirsten Malone by a step.
Number 5, the pitcher. Brooklyn,
One out.
Brannon.
Hannah Speed now has retired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Bullard hitters in a row. Brooklyn Brannon, the pitcher, coming up. Reached base on an infield single in the first inning and stole the base. Pitch by Speed, misses just off the plate, and it is 1-0 to Brooklyn Brannon. Tony Flippin had another event that he had to go to this evening, so he has departed. I'll do the best I can to get through this on my own the rest of the way. Pitch by Speed. This is hit well to left field. And KK Montgomery, did she catch that? I guess not. Boy, it looked for a moment that she had made a diving catch out there. I guess she trapped it, or so it's ruled. A line drive, a low liner, and KK Montgomery, with her terrific athletic ability, moving to her left and in. Looked for a moment like she had made the catch. Now David Carrillo, Lady Cats head coach, out to have a word with the home plate umpire about this. As it is, it's a base hit for Brooklyn Brannon. That'll be 2 for 2 now for Brannon. She had that little weak roller down the first baseline in the first inning.
Now hitting number 17, second baseman Peyton
But that
Walker.
was not a weak roller. That was a line drive over the shortstop's head, Gracie Thompson, and nearly a spectacular play by KK Montgomery. Left-handed hitter in the box. Peyton Walker running up, takes a swing and misses that first pitch from Hannah Speed. It's 0-1. Runner at first. 1 out here in the third inning. And the next pitch again, she is running toward the pitcher's circle and down the first baseline, kind of slaps it out into left field, and it falls in for a base hit in front of KK Montgomery, just about maybe a step inside the left field line. So Peyton Walker slapping at the ball, gets it to drop in, and 2 consecutive hits here for Bullard in the top of the third inning, with the Lady Cats leading 3-1. Just 1 out. And the cleanup hitter, Carter Swanson, the designated player, comes up, right-handed batter. And the first pitch from Hannah Speed is a fastball strike. Up around the belt. Swanson walked and stole a base in the first inning. Allison Frazier, the center fielder, a couple of steps over into right center field, pretty good gap in left center. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball, and Shaylee Friddle throwing down to Allison Frazier, try to throw behind the runner. Peyton Walker at first base just missed on that throw. Walker diving back in. That pitch was called a strike, so it's 0-2. Speed. Showing her speed, but the pitch is high here, and it goes to 1-2. On the cleanup hitter, Carter Swanson, the designated player. Runners at first and second. 1 out. Lady Cats lead at 3-1. In the infield, Gracie Thompson and Braylee Blevins looking for the double play. Swanson showing bunt. Now she slaps it back up the middle, and it's through for a base hit, and around third base and in to score is Brooklyn Brannon, and it's a 3-2 ball game. RBI single up the middle for Carter Swanson. 3 straight hits here for Bullard.
Third baseman Emery Baker.
Peyton Walker has to hold on at second base. 3-2. Lady Cats hold it on to a 1-run lead here in the top of the third. Hannah Speed had retired 6 consecutive batters, but now she has had 3 consecutive hits on her. Runner still at first and second, just 1 out. And Emery Baker, the third baseman, right-handed batter in the batter's box. And the first pitch misses low for ball 1. Baker sacrifice fly to right field to drive in a run in the first inning. Right-handed batter. As with quite a few of these Bullard players, she's very tall. And there's a change-up and a swing and a miss over the top of it. And it is 1-1. Hannah Speed on the mound or in the pitcher's circle for the Lady Cats. Coming in with a 1.67 ERA. So she's already exceeded that with 2 runs here in the first 3 innings. A 13-3 record. Swung on and missed, a fastball up high. And it goes to 1-2 on Emery Baker, number 5 hitter in the lineup for Bullard. Opposing hitters batting 163 against the junior Hannah Speed. Speed looking in. Shaylee Friddle, the catcher. 1-2 pitch, swung on, hit foul off the fist, and that is out of play to the third base side. Clears the net and the stands, I believe. And the count remains at 1-2. Speed with 3 strikeouts in the game. She's given up 4 base hits. And the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that'll be her 4th strikeout of the game. Runner still at first and second with 2 out. A run across in the inning. And Kenzie Roberts, the center fielder, will bat with 2 out. She struck out swinging to end the first inning. Right-handed batter against the right-hander, Hannah Speed for Sulphur Springs. Speed rocks back, in with the pitch. It's up around the shoulders for ball 1. Top of the third, this game at Lady Cats Park, a warm-up game for both of these teams getting ready to go into the playoffs. 2 top-notch 4A teams here. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses just off the plate for ball 2. Lady Cats ranked 14th in the state. Bullard ranked 25th. Sun has gone down behind a bank of clouds and is no longer a problem out in right field. And here's a ball well hit to center field and out of here. As Allison Frazier went back and had no more room to go back, and it sailed over her head and over the 203 side out in center field. And that is a 3-run homer for Kenzie Roberts. Well struck ball, to say the least, and not all that much wind dated, I would say.
Now batting number 10, first baseman Denham Bowles.
And so Bullard now a 5-3 lead over the Lady Cats. That clears the bases. Frazier, I think, believed she had a play on the ball, but then her hand went up against the fence, and that was all she wrote. That ball cleared maybe by 5 to 10 feet. There's fastball for a strike to Denham Bowles. Bowles grounded out third base to first base in the second inning when Hannah Speed retired. Bullard 1-2-3. Now a conference taking place between Bowles and the third base coach, who's also the head coach, Julie Murray, for Bullard. Hannah Speed now, with that home run allowed, has given up 4 homers this season. 0-1 pitch. Fastball up around the belt, inside edge of the plate for a strike to Denham Bowles. Bowles, another one of those big girls for Bullard. Several girls right at 6 feet. Pitch by Hannah Speed. Checks her swing. It's off the fist for a strike, although it was an 0-2 count, so count remains at 0-2. Goes foul to the third base side slightly. 0-2 count. 3-run homer moments ago by Kenzie Roberts to center field. Hannah Speed rocks back, and the pitch. Check swing, just off the plate. And it is 1-2. Bullard now with a 5-3 lead. 4 runs here in the top of the third inning. Hannah looking into the dugout for the sign. Of course, she has a wristband that translates those signals. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So that gives her 5 strikeouts in the game, but Bullard comes up with 4 runs in the inning on 4 base hits, including a 3-run homer by Kenzie Roberts. And we go to the bottom of the third with Bullard leading Sulphur Springs 5-3. This is Lady Cat Softball on KSST. Lady Cat Softball brought to you by Alliance Bank, BT Medical, City National Bank, Masco Equipment, Wesley House Assisted Living, Farm Country, Hooten's Hardware, CPI Technologies, and the UIL. Going to the bottom of the third, the Lady Cats trailing Bullard here 5-3.
Lady Cats number 2, the catcher, Shaylee Friddle.
Shaylee Friddle will lead it off, number 3 hitter in the lineup. She was at bat when an overthrow into left field allowed Baylor Boatman to score from third base, and then courtesy runner Chloe Johnson was thrown out at third to end the bottom of the second inning. And so she is up at bat again here. Friddle takes ball 1 high. Brooklyn Brennan still in the pitcher's circle for the Bullard Lady Panthers. Friddle holds the bat up high. Pitch way inside for a ball. And it is 2-0 to Shaylee Friddle, Lady Cat sophomore catcher, a .500 batting average coming into the game with 40 base hits. Outfield deep and straight away. Friddle stands up near the front of the batter's box, and she fouls this one back into the net. And the count is 1-2. Lady Cats, as we told you, going into the playoffs against Wills Point next week at Community. Wildcat baseball team, a non-district game at Lindale last night, and they lost 11-0 to the Lindale Eagles. 2-1 pitch, fastball down and in for ball 3 to Shaylee Friddle. Wildcats now with a very big district game Tuesday night against Texarkana Pleasant Grove. That's scheduled for 7. I was told this evening that game for some reason is going to start at 8. We'll check on that. We'll have the broadcast for you on KSST. Here's the 3-1 pitch by Brannon. And that is a called strike. Wow, from up here I would have guessed ball 4 as Shaylee Friddle jumped back to prevent it from hitting her on the hip. But home plate umpire says it caught the inside edge of the plate, and Friddle is in there for a 3-2 pitch here. Brannon high over the head with the windup, and there's another one down and in for ball 4. And so Friddle walks to lead off the bottom of the third inning.
Now hitting number 23, right fielder.
That is
Claire
the third
Thompson.
Walk allowed by Brooklyn Brannon. We'll have a pinch runner.
First base, Riley Friddle.
Courtesy runner, Riley Friddle for Shaylee Friddle. Riley, I believe, just now coming up from the junior varsity because we have not seen her before tonight. She is the courtesy runner at first base with nobody out. And Claire Thompson is the hitter. First pitch is inside for ball 1 to Claire Thompson. Claire with an RBI single up the middle in the first inning. Claire Thompson, a .467 hitter. Now with 29 base hits this season. Crouching stance, stands about midway in the box from front to back. And she fouls this one back into the net. And it is 1-1 to Claire Thompson. Just a junior. Great season last year for the Lady Cats as they were the area champs and went to the state semifinals against Andrews, losing best of 3 series, 2 games to 1 out in Graham. 1-1 pitch, takes something off of that one and misses outside. 2-1. So Brannon for Bullard has struggled with her control a little bit. She struck out 2 batters so far. 2-1 count here to Claire Thompson with a runner at first. Pitch misses inside, and it goes to 3-1 on Claire Thompson. Lady Cats have 3 base hits in the ball game. Shaylee Friddle, an infield hit. Hannah Speed, a single. And Claire Thompson had that RBI single. 3-1 pitch. Low for ball 4. Riley Friddle goes to second base. Claire Thompson on at first with the base on balls. The 4th walk allowed by Brooklyn Brannon. So the first 2 batters reach base here for the Lady Cats, down 5-3 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And Addison Woodall, the first baseman, just a freshman, coming up for the Lady Cats, but what a freshman. A .507 batting average. 36 base hits. 11 doubles, 3 triples, 5 homers. Left-handed batter. Third baseman Emery Baker and first baseman Denham Bowles in a step or 2. First pitch again misses low. That would have been down and into a right-handed batter, but the left-hander Addison Woodall looked at it, and it was, of course, low and outside. First 2 batters have walked here in the bottom of the 3rd. Nobody out. Pitch to Woodall. Up high around the shoulders for ball 2. So Brooklyn Brannon now really battling her control here, as Bullard trying to hold on to a 5-3 lead here against the Lady Cats. Woodall stands about midway in the box, front to back, and swings at the next pitch. Hits this one foul off the end of the bat, well out of play to the left side, over past the batting cage, down that left field line, and the count is 2-1 to Addison Addie Woodall. Lady Cats number 14 in the state. Bullard number 25 in 4A softball. Here's the 2-1 pitch by Brannon. Check swing, and home plate umpire says that Woodall went, so it's 2-2. Outfield is straight away, and I would say medium depth. The wind has let up a lot. Still a little bit of a breeze out to center field. 2-2 pitch. Woodall swings and hits it foul out of play to the left side. And the count remains at 2-2. On deck, KK Montgomery for Sulphur Springs. Lady Cats played Tuesday night against White House. That was another warm-up game, and they won 10-5 over a 21-8 White House team. 2-2 pitch. Swung on by Woodall, hit into right field. And coming on, the right fielder, Kaylin Mercer, makes a running catch in front of the second baseman, Peyton Walker, for the first out. So now KK Montgomery with runners at first and second and one out for Sulphur Springs. Bullard leading 5-3. KK Montgomery, the senior. .395 hitter coming in tonight, with 17 base hits. Big situation for her here with runners at first and second and one out, and the Lady Cats down by 2, 5-3. Brannon high over the head with the windup. Comes in with the pitch, and it is outside for ball 1 to KK Montgomery. She struck out swinging to end the first inning. Lady Cats scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Bullard 1 in the first, 4 in the third, including a 3-run homer by Kenzie Roberts, the left fielder. 1-0 pitch. KK hits it foul into the net behind home plate, and the count 1-1. Good crowd on hand here at Lady Cats Park, and a lot of folks here from Bullard, up from the Tyler area. Brannon looking in, high over the head, the pitch, and swung out and missed at a fastball. KK Montgomery can't connect. That one up around the letters. Count goes to 1-2. Gracie Thompson, the shortstop, on deck. Brooklyn Brannon looking at the band on her wrist for the pitch. Comes in with the pitch. And Montgomery hits it foul down the first base line. Count remains at 1-2. Runners at first and second and one out. Brannon, the big windup, and a swing and a miss at a fastball up high, and Montgomery goes down on strikes for the second out. So after walking the first two hitters, Shaylee Friddle and Claire Thompson, Brannon got Addison Woodall to fly out to right, and KK Montgomery strikes out. That's the third strikeout by Brannon. And now Gracie Thompson, the shortstop, up with 2 out. And runners at first and second. 5-3, Bullard leads. Right-handed batter, Gracie Thompson. And the pitch, swung on and missed. It's a good fastball up above the belt. 0-1 to Gracie Thompson. She struck out swinging in the second inning. One of the 3 Lady Cats seniors, along with KK Montgomery and Baylor Boatman. And a swing and a miss and a pitch in the dirt. Badly fooled on that one. And the count goes to 0-2. Bullard leading 5-3. Big blow of this game, we told you a moment ago, the 3-run homer by Kenzie Roberts to center field in the top of this inning. Now the Lady Cats, the tying runs on base here, but 2 outs and an 0-2 count on Gracie Thompson, a right-handed batter. Crouching stance, Brannon bounces one in. Nice job there by the catcher, Lila Robertson, of blocking that one. And it's 1-2. Braylee Blevins on deck for the Lady Cats. Lady Cats in their black home uniforms tonight with royal blue leggings. 1-2 pitch. Bounces in all the way back to the screen, and both runners will move up. That time Robertson couldn't save it. That's a wild pitch. And the Lady Cats now with 2 runners in scoring position. The tying runs, a 2-2 count to Gracie Thompson, and 2 out. Bullard, while we're doing the fashion report, royal blue uniforms with pinstripes, and Bullard in red script across the front. Their colors are royal blue and red. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that just misses outside. Catcher Lila Robertson tried to frame it there, but home plate umpire says no. So 3-2, runners at second and third, 2 out. Lady Cats down 5-3 in the bottom of the third. Gracie Thompson waiting on a big pitch here from Brooklyn Brannon. Brannon looking into the dugout, now to her wrist. Juggling the ball in her right hand. Into the windup, high over the head. And Gracie Thompson gets the end of the bat on it, hits it foul into the first base net. And the count holds at 3-2. Outfield, medium depth, straight away for Gracie Thompson. Gracie, a .375 hitter. And that pitch is low for ball 4. So another walk allowed here. That's 5 walks allowed by Brooklyn Brannon. And the bases are loaded. She has walked 3 in this inning. Braylee Blevins, the hitter for Sulphur Springs. Lady Cats down 5-3 in the bottom of the third. Riley Friddle, a courtesy runner at third base. Claire Thompson at second. And now Gracie Thompson at first base. Braylee Blevins at bat. She flew out to left field in the second inning. Pitch way up high for ball 1. As Brannon continues to fight her control here in the third inning. Blevins, a .419 hitter, 31 base hits, including 7 doubles, 2 triples, does have 1 home run to her credit. 24 RBIs. Right-handed batter stands near the back of the batter's box. There's a fastball, and a good fastball for a called strike at the belt and on the outside edge of the plate. 1-1 to Braley Blevins. Allison Frazier, the center fielder, bottom of the Lady Cats batting order on deck. Bases loaded with Lady Cats. 2 outs, down 5-3, bottom of the third. 1-1 pitch from Brooklyn Brannon. And there's a fastball called strike. Outside edge. Count goes to 1-2. All 3 Lady Cats on base reached on walks. Riley Fiddle is a courtesy runner. Outfield, straight away, and deep. Pitch swung on and missed. It gets away from the catcher, and coming in to score for the Lady Cats is Riley Fiddle, the courtesy runner. It's 5-3, Lady Cats. That would have been strike 3, but it got away from the catcher, Lila Robertson.
Number 8, the center fielder, Allison Frazier.
And so on at first base is Braley Blevins. I'm going to call that a wild pitch. That was a difficult play for Lila Robertson. And it went all the way back to the retaining wall. And not hesitating a moment, Riley Fiddle comes in from third base. Claire Thompson goes to third. Gracie Thompson to second base. And it's I said 5-3 a moment ago, 5-4. Lady Cats down by a run here. 5-4 is the score now. And here's a call strike, fastball, outside edge to Allison Frazier. Frazier hit by a pitch and scored in the second inning. 0-1 count. So a wild pitch allows the Lady Cats to score on what would have been the third out. Here's a swing and a miss by Allison Frazier. And the count is 0-2 on the Lady Cat center fielder. She's a .473 hitter with 35 base hits. Right-handed batter. Base is still loaded, 2 out. And Frazier hits it foul, right side. First baseman Denham Bowles giving chase, but no chance over the Bullard dugout down the first baseline. Lady Cats have scored in every inning now. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 here in the third. It's a 5-4 game. Bullard leading. This match of 2 East Texas heavyweights and 4A softball. 0-2 pitch. That's a fastball just off the plate. Lila Robertson, the catcher, tried to frame it to no avail, and it's 1-2 to Allison Frazier. Top of the order, Baylor Boatman on deck for Sulphur Springs. A run across. Base is still loaded. And the pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. So 5 strikeouts now for Brooklyn Brannon. And a run actually scored on one of those strikeouts. It was a wild pitch that got away from the catcher and allowed Riley Fiddle to come in from third base. So the Lady Cats get a run without a base hit in the third inning, and we go to the top of the fourth. It's Bullard 5 and Sulphur Springs 4. This is Lady Cat softball on KSST. Lady Cat softball on KSST. Bullard leading the Lady Cats 5-4 as we go to the top of the fourth inning here at Lady Cats Park. Sun going down, and a very pleasant evening now. What was a very difficult sun field in right field and at second base now is not a problem at all, as the light's beginning to take hold here at Lady Cats Park. 5-4, Bullard leading over the Lady Cats. And it'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order for Bullard coming up to face Hannah Speed in the top of the fourth inning. Texas Rangers out on the West Coast to play their arch rival Seattle Mariners tonight. We will have that broadcast after the Lady Cats game, and I believe the Rangers game scheduled to start at 8:40, so I don't think it's likely that we'll miss much, if any, of that game. Now the first pitch to Hudson Walker, the center fielder, is in the dirt for ball 1. Walker robbed of a hit by Lady Cats third baseman Baylor Boatman. Back in the second inning, leaping catch of a line drive. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Hannah Speed. Next pitch, and therefore strike. Caught the outside edge, and it is 1-1. Third base coach for Bullard and the head coach Julie Murray, I think, letting the home plate umpire know she didn't think much of that call just now. Here's the 1-1, and that one's high for ball 2. Hannah Speed has struck out 5 in the game. She's given up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base hits. Walked a couple. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and hit foul. Back to the net behind home plate on the count 2-2 on Hudson Walker. We don't have stats on these Bullard players, but they are a top-notch team. 25-7. They went 10-0 in their district. Big gap in left center field here with the center fielder Allison Frazier a couple of steps over into right center. High pop-up, but it's going to be out of play. In fact, on the roof on top of us here, you might have been able to hear that on the metal roof. That's one of the nice things about Lady Cats Park. Nice roof. If the sun is beating down or if it might be raining lightly, you have the protection, but a lot of the fans choose to sit in folding chairs along the third base line and the first base line. 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, 2 hops to shortstop. Gracie Thompson up with it. Strong throw to Addison Woodall at first base for the first out. 1 out, nobody on top of the fourth. Lady Cats leading, or Bullard leading the Lady Cats 5-4. Lila Robertson, the catcher, now up. Robertson struck out in the second inning. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Hannah Speed. Another good-sized girl for Bullard here. Stands up near the front of the batter's box. Swinging, hits it deep to center field. Allison Frazier hauls it in about 2 steps in front of the wall. That looked scary off the bat. Frazier had it all the way, though. And she brings it down
number 6, the shortstop.
Not far in front of that center field wall to the left of the 203 sign. Wow. Gave it a good ride. 2 out and nobody on. Bullard had the 3-run homer to center by Kenzie Roberts in the third inning. That one didn't miss by much. 5-4. Bullard leads, 2 out, nobody on now. Kirsten Malone, the leadoff hitter for Bullard. Pitch is a fastball high for ball 1. Malone walked, stole third base, and scored in the first inning on a sacrifice fly. Grounded out to shortstop in the third. She's 1 for 2. Stands about midway in the box, front to back, crouching stance, fastball for a called strike. One and one count to Kirsten Malone, the shortstop. Brooklyn Brennan, the pitcher, is on deck. And the pitch swung on and hit hard, but well foul, out of play over the batting cage down the left field line. I have it 1-2. The scoreboard says 0-2. I tend to think I'm correct because I'm quite sure we've had 3 pitches, but if I'm wrong, we'll correct it here in a moment. Center fielder Allison Frazier, couple of steps over into right center, a little bit of a gap there in left center field. Pitch is hit foul down the first base line. 2 outs and nobody on. Bullard leading 5-4 in the top of the 4th inning. After this half inning, we'll be halfway through. Lady Cats have won almost all of their home games by run rule this year. That was not the case here a week or so back against North Lamar. Pitch in the dirt. Again, I have it 2-2. Scoreboard has not yet shown that ball. I'm sure they will indicate ball 1 here in a moment. We'll see who's right. Hannah Speed juggling the ball in her right hand. She rocks back, and with the pitch, wow. Rocket off the bat of Kirsten Malone. Catches the top of the Lady Cats dugout, just glances, and then on into the batting cage area. Again, I have it 2-2 to Kirsten Malone. Hit a couple of balls really hard, but foul to the third base side here in this at bat. Shaylee Friddle sets up outside. Malone hits it to right field. And coming on, Claire Thompson toward the line, makes a running catch for the third out. Nice catch by Claire Thompson. And 3 up, 3 down for Bullard in the top of the fourth. And we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and it is Bullard 5, Lady Cats 4. This is Lady Cats softball on KSST. Lady Cat softball on KSST brought to you by Alliance Bank, BT Medical, City National Bank, Masco Equipment, Wesley House Assisted Living, Farm Country, Hooten's Hardware, CPI Technologies, and the University Interscholastic League. We go to the bottom of the fourth with Bullard leading the Lady Cats 5-4 in this non-district game, and a warm-up for the playoffs for both teams. Lady Cats will be playing Wills Point in a best-of-3 series starting Thursday night at Community. We'll have the broadcast of those games for you on KSST. Bullard will be playing Vider in by-district, and we do not know where those games will be played, but I understand they will also play Thursday and Friday. Top of the order, Baylor Boatman, whose brother Brett Boatman did a great job singing the national anthem before the game here tonight. We've heard him sing before. He's always terrific. Very strong voice. Brooklyn Brannon over the top with the windup, and the pitch is low for ball one to Baylor Boatman. She flew out to center field in the first inning, walked and scored on a throwing error by the catcher in the second inning. Brannon, and with the pitch, Boatman hits it between third and short. Long throw for the shortstop, and not in time to get Baylor Boatman. The base umpire says the throw pulled. First baseman Denham Bowles off the bag. So that's an infield hit for Baylor Boatman. Hit in the hole at short. To the left of the third baseman, Emery Baker, and Kirsten Malone, the shortstop, went deep into the hole to come up with it and made the throw to first base, but pulled the first baseman off the bag. So Lady Cats have a runner at first base, the tying run at first, with nobody out, and Hannah Speed coming up for the Lady Cats. And a conference taking place.
Now hitting number 1
on the field. The umpires came in for a conversation. I suppose that the head coach for Bullard, Julie Murray, questioned that call at first base, and they got together and talked about it and decided that the call was correct in the first place. So here's Hannah Speed, Lady Cats pitcher, with a runner at first base. Lady Cats down 5-4. First pitch is off-speed pitch high for ball one. Speed with phenomenal numbers for the Lady Cats, the junior. 641 batting average, 54 hits, 21 homers, 50 RBIs. A dangerous young lady at the plate and in the pitcher's circle. 1-0 pitch now from Brannon. Swung on and missed, down and in. And it is 1-1. Speed walked and scored in the first. Had an RBI single. She just punched it through the right side. Good job of going with the pitch in the second inning to drive in a run. That was Allison Frazier who came in to score. He swung on and hit by Speed down the left side, just foul. And left fielder Kenzie Roberts had a play on that ball right at the line. It did not miss by much, falling into fair territory, but it also didn't miss by much. Kenzie Roberts making the play. So the count 1-2 to Hannah Speed. Big moment here with the Lady Cats down 5-4. Halfway through the ball game, bottom of the fourth, runner at first, nobody out. And Speed hits it off the fist behind the pitcher's circle with crazy spin. They go to second base and they get the force on Baylor Boatman. Nice play there by the pitcher, Brooklyn Brannon. That ball was over her head and landed between the pitcher's circle and second base, kind of took a crazy hop. Brannon stayed with it. The shortstop, Kirsten Malone, came over, and they got the throw to force Baylor Boatman.
And now batting, number 2, the catcher.
Play goes 1-6.
Brittle.
Chloe Johnson comes in as a courtesy runner at first base. That'll be a fielder's choice for Hannah Speed. I thought sure she was going to be on base and that Baylor Boatman would be safe at second base. But that's not how it worked out. 1 out and a runner at first. Shaylee Friddle swings at the first pitch. This is a line drive for a base hit into left field. Bounces once in front of the left fielder Kenzie Robertson. Friddle on at first base.
Now hitting
with a solid single.
The right fielder, Claire Thompson.
Friddle, by the way, now 1 for 2. She reached base on an error in the first inning.
Running at first base.
Walked and scored in the
Friddle.
third inning. Now Riley Friddle comes in to run for Shaylee Friddle at first. So it's Friddle running at first. Chloe Johnson running at second base for Sulphur Springs with 1 out. Claire Thompson, Lady Cats cleanup hitter, up with the Lady Cats down 5-4 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brooklyn Brannon high over the head with the windup. Pitch is a fastball up high for ball 1 to Claire Thompson. Claire, an RBI single up the middle in the first, walked in the 3rd inning. Claire Thompson, a .467 hitter coming into the ballgame now with 29 base hits this season for the Lady Cats. Right-handed hitter, crouching stance. And the pitch. Call strike on the inside edge. Count goes to 1-1. Claire's the Lady Cats junior right fielder. Good-sized girl. I would say close to 6 feet. And with a powerful build. Crouching, waiting on the pitch. It bounces in. Chloe Thompson goes halfway to third. They bluff a throw as she goes back to second base. She's back in easily. 2-1 to Claire Thompson. Addison Woodall, the freshman first baseman, with a big bat for the Lady Cats, is on deck. Lady Cats down 5-4. 1 out, runners at first and second. 2-1 pitch. Thompson to third, and the third baseman steps on the bag. The throw to first for a double play. Claire arguing that she beat the throw, but a ball hit to third, and the third baseman, Emery Baker, stepped on third for the putout. Now, there's some discussion about the play at first base. The throw went to first base, the base umpire there said out for Claire Thompson, but Claire's still standing at first base, and Wildcat head coach David Carrillo comes out to plead his case, and now the umpire's going to have a conversation here. As it stands, it's a double play on a sharply hit ball to third base. Force out on Chloe Johnson at third, and a strong throw by the third baseman Emery Baker across the diamond to Denham Bowles, the first baseman, to double off Riley Friddle. Or actually, it would be to throw out Claire Thompson at first base, and that play is going to stand. They have their conversation out in front of the home plate, and Claire Thompson is out 5-3 on a nicely turned double play there, mainly by Emery Baker, the third baseman, who got the put out at third, and then the strong throw to first to get Claire Thompson. So the Lady Cats do not score in the bottom of the 4th inning, despite 2 base hits. Nice play by the pitcher, Brooklyn Brannon, to force out Baylor Boatman at second base on a ball hit by Hannah Speed. So we go to the top of the 5th. It is 5-4 Bullard, and this is Lady Cats softball on KSST. Top of the 5th inning with Bullard leading the Lady Cats 5-4. Brooklyn Brannon, the pitcher, Peyton Walker, the second baseman, and Carter Swanson, the designated player, coming up in this inning. And the first pitch is an off-speed pitch in there for a strike to Brooklyn Brannon. She is 2 for 2. Had a little infield hit down the first baseline in the first inning, and then singled and scored in that 4-run third inning for Bullard. And she swings at this pitch, a high pop-up, foul territory, third base side, taken forever. but Baylor Boatman stays with it and makes the catch. That may have been the highest infield pop-up we have seen here. She had to wait forever.
Now hitting number
And it gave her just a little bit of trouble, but she made the catch off to her left side. So first out of the inning. Nice play by Baylor Boatman, who's had a couple of good ones here tonight. She had a line drive, a leaping catch on a line drive. Now Peyton Walker, left-handed hitter. She likes to slap at the ball. And she does that again, and she slaps it into left center field for a base hit. That's what she did the last time. Little lefty, she runs up in the box and just puts the bat on the ball, and it drops into left center field for a base hit. So she is 2 for 3 in the game. She singled and scored in the third and struck out in the first. So runner at first, and Carter Swanson, the designated hitter, comes up with 1 out, and Bullard leading 5-4. I believe that's 5 base hits now for Bullard, but we'll check on that. Right-handed hitter, Carter Swanson, who's batting for the right fielder, Kaylin Mercer, it is. Third base and first base. Coming in, anticipating a possible bunt. Pitch is high for ball 1. To Carter Swanson. Gracie Thompson at shortstop. Braylee Blevins at second, looking for the double play. Outfield is pretty much straight away, although Allison Frazier a step or two over into right center field. There's a fastball for a strike on the outside edge. To Carter Swanson, it is 1-1. Swanson walked and stole a base in the first, had an RBI single in the third, and then came around to score on that homer by Kenzie Roberts. Big, strong right-hander. Right-handed batter, stands about midway in the batter's box front to back. Swung on and missed, a high fastball, inside edge of the plate. And the count goes to 1-2 on Carter Swanson. 1 out and a runner at first. Peyton Walker, little slap-hitting second baseman. Dropped one into the left center field. Swanson shows bunt, kind of holds the bat out there as if she will bunt, but she never has fulfilled that. Now she swings and fouls one back, and the count remains at 1-2. Pretty good drive for Bullard coming up from the Tyler area. It's about maybe a 2-hour drive, probably not quite that, maybe an hour and a half to hour 45. Against Swanson showing bunt. She hits a fly ball, and that one is out of here. Peyton Walker. And Bullard leads it 7-4 over the Lady Cats here in the top of the 5th inning. You watch the outfielders on a ball like that to the outfield, and Allison Walker
now batting number 19,
took a step back and 2 or 3 steps to her right and then just gave up on it because it was clear that was over the center field wall. And probably cleared that wall. It says 203 to center field. Probably cleared it by 20 feet or so. 2 runs across. This is one hit outside of third base, foul by Emery Baker, and it's 0-1. Hannah Speed now has given up 5 homers this season. A 3-run homer to Kenzie Roberts in the third, and now a 2-run homer to Carter Swanson here in the 5th inning. Speed rocks back, and the pitch. Way up high for a ball, and it is 1-2. Lights pretty much have completely taken hold here now, and really no sunlight to speak of on the field any longer. Speed, the 1-0 pitch, and therefore a call strike. Emery Baker, a sacrifice fly in the first inning for an RBI, and she struck out swinging in the third. Pitch by Hannah Speed. Swung on and missed. And the ball gets away from Shaylee Friddle, and she makes the throw down to first base. So that was a 1-2 pitch to Emery Baker. She strikes out swinging for the second time in the put out 2-3
Number 2,
to first base.
Kenzie Roberts.
Kenzie Roberts, who had the 3-run homer in the third, coming up now with the bases clear. 2 runs across in the inning. And Bullard leading 7-4 now over the Lady Cats. Probably the roughest outing of the season so far for Hannah Speed in the pitcher's circle for the Lady Cats. First pitch, a fastball on the inside edge for strike 1. Roberts struck out swinging in the first inning, had the 3-run homer in the third. And hit that one to dead center field. Pitch way up high for a ball. 1-1 to Kenzie Roberts. She is the number 6 hitter in the batting order for Bullard. Lady Panther left fielder, right-handed batter. Not a powerful looking girl. Medium height, and the pitch. Off-speed pitch is high for a ball. And it is 2-1. Denham Bowles, the first baseman, on deck. Lady Cats in the bottom of the 5th will send up Addison Woodall, KK Montgomery, and Gracie Thompson, middle of the order. Pretty good gap in left center field with the center fielder Allison Frazier over a couple of steps into right center. Pitches down in the dirt. Rolls away from Shaylee Friddle, but no matter. Nobody on base. Scoreboard shows a 2-1 count. I'm not sure that it's not 3-1. We'll see soon. Speed. Set. Now the pitch. Swung on and hit. Foul. And making the play, the first baseman, Addison Woodall, just a couple of steps into foul territory, and that's the inning for Bullard. But they get 2 runs on 2 base hits. The 2-run homer by Carter Swanson, a monster shot to left center field. And we go to the bottom of the 5th with Bullard leading the Lady Cats 7-4. This is Lady Cats softball on KSST. Experience the best in Western sports and country music as the American Rodeo Championship weekend returns to Globe Life Field. Witness top-tier rodeo competition and unforgettable performances in the heart of Arlington's entertainment district.
For the Lady Cats.
Get your tickets at globelifefield.com/American. 7-4, Bullard leading the Lady Cats as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Addison Woodall, number 5 hitter. KK Montgomery, the 6-hole hitter. And Gracie Thompson, the number 7 hitter, coming up for Sulphur Springs. Woodall, a freshman. But what number she has. Left-handed hitter. Here is Brooklyn Brannon in with the fastball for an inside pitch. Addison takes it for ball 1. Woodall, .507 the batting average, 36 base hits, 11 doubles, 3 triples, 5 homers, 30 runs batted in, just a freshman. She's 0 for 2 tonight. Fouled out to the third baseman, Emery Baker, who made a nice play right at the net on the third base side, and then she flew out to right field in the 3rd inning. 1-0 pitch all the way back to the retaining wall behind home plate. And catcher Lila Robertson never laid a glove on it. 2-0. So Brannon has struggled with her control at times tonight. She's walked 5 batters by my count. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 5 walks. 2-0 count here. Woodall, a crouching stance about midway in the batter's box, front to back, and that one hit her on the elbow, and that hurt. Caught her just above the elbow there. Second hit batter of the night by Brooklyn Brannon. So the leadoff hitter for Sulphur Springs, trailing by 3 runs, 7-4 here in the bottom of the 5th inning, is on base. Addison Woodall and KK Montgomery coming up for the Lady Cats. And a conference taking place now. In fact, a couple of conferences. We have the head coach for Bullard, Julie Murray, talking with her catcher, Lila Robertson. Now coming out is Wildcats head coach David Castillo, or Carrillo, I should say. David Carrillo, who is retiring at the end of this season after 20 years. And should at least get his name right.
Cats. Number 14.
So batting now.
Friddle.
Riley Friddle is going to pinch hit here for the Lady Cats, or for KK Montgomery. Interesting call here. Riley Friddle, who has not played for this.
Now hitting number 14, Jersey Fowler.
Well, Jersey Fowler. I went along with our public address announcer, Don Julian, and it is number 14, Jersey Fowler, who is the pinch hitter, and the first pitch is up high for a ball. So Jersey Fowler we have seen quite a bit this season for the Lady Cats. She is another of the Lady Cat freshmen. Fowler, a .377 hitter, has a runner at first base, Addison Woodall. Lady Cats down by 3 runs, nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. And a fastball in there for a strike, and it's 1-1 to Jersey Fowler. Fowler, 17 base hits and 45 at-bats, 5 doubles, a couple of homers. 18 runs batted in for the freshman, Jersey Fowler, a right-handed batter against the right-hander, Brooklyn Brannon. Outfield, medium depth, straight away. Fowler swings and misses at a fastball on the outside edge for strike 2. Kirsten Malone at short, Peyton Walker at second base, looking for the double play in a step. 1-2 pitch. Down and in for a ball, and it is 2-2. Lady Cats down 7-4. They scored 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, did not score in the 4th inning. And a swing and a miss at a pitch down and away by Jersey Fowler. And that'll be the 6th strikeout by Brooklyn Brannon tonight.
Now hitting
1 out.
11, the shortstop, Gracie Thompson.
Runner still at first base. Addison Woodall, who was hit by a pitch, he's still looking at that elbow, that right elbow. Hit just above the elbow. Third baseman Emery Baker, first baseman Denham Bowles in a couple of steps, anticipating a possible bunt, and she does show bunt, but the pitch gets away from the catcher Lila Robertson, and going on down to second base is Addison Woodall on what I would call a passed ball here. Gracie Thompson showing bunt, but maybe now she will not want to bunt with a 3-run deficit. And now the runner at second base, Addison Woodall. But we'll see, 1-0 pitch. She does show bunt, pitches high, and this one is a wild pitch all the way back to the net. Definitely a wild pitch there. And now Addison Woodall at third base with 1 out. So the first 2 pitches to Gracie Thompson, who's been trying to get a bunt down, but no chance with either one of those pitches. I'd like to see the first one again. I called it a pass ball. That may have been generous to the pitcher, Brooklyn Brannon, but that one just a moment ago, definitely a wild pitch. So runner at third with 1 out. Gracie Thompson swinging a miss at a fastball up around the belt for strike 1. I tell you, Brannon has a very good speed. She struggles with her control some, but a lot of velocity on that fastball. She looks at her wrist for the sign. And over the cap or over the head with the windup. No cap. And the pitch is high for a ball. So 3-1 to Gracie Thompson, the Lady Cats senior shortstop, with a runner at third. Addison Woodall, one out. Third baseman Baker and first baseman Bowles again in a couple of steps here. Shortstop and second base also playing. There's a bunt, and coming to home and sliding safely is Addison Woodall. Beautiful bunt there by Gracie Thompson, and it only went about 10 feet out in front of the plate. In fact, the catcher Lila Robertson went out to get it and then had a play on the sliding Addison Woodall. But Gracie Thompson gets in the run. We'll credit her with an infield hit there and an RBI, definitely. And in to score Addison Woodall, and Woodall slid in feet first, and she had to avoid the bat, which was still there at home plate. But great job of getting the bunt down and getting the run in. It's now 7-5. Bullard leading the Lady Cats with a runner at first. And the hitter is Braylee Blevins, and she swings at the first pitch and hits it foul over the roof, and it's 0-1. If Thompson could be criticized there, and she really shouldn't be, it's that the bunt ideally would have gone another 5 feet or so out in front of the plate. It allowed Lila Robertson, the catcher, to get out and field it and then come back and try to make the tag. But sliding in, Addison Woodall, who was hit by the pitch, went to second base on a pass ball, third base on a wild pitch, and then is allowed to score on a bunt by Gracie Thompson. Next pitch is a ball, and it's 1-1 here to Braylee Blevins with the runner at first. And the pitch is down and in, throw to first base, and it goes into right field, but backing up the right fielder, Kaylin Mercer, and so the runner at first, Gracie Thompson, not going to be able to take advantage of that. Count goes to 2-1 on Braylee Blevins. She flew out to left field in the second. Struck out, but reached base on a wild pitch on that third strike in the third inning. And that allowed Riley Friddle, a courtesy runner, to score from third base. 2-1 pitch. Hit on the ground and gets between the shortstop and third baseman into left field for a base hit. Seeing eye single there for Braylee Blevins. Just to the left of the third baseman, Emery Baker, and to the right of Kirsten Malone, trying to flag it down in the hole. Gracie Thompson goes to second. And now Allison Frazier coming up for the Lady Cats, the number 9 hitter and the center fielder, with runners at first and second. One out. Lady Cats down 7-5. Scoreboard still shows 7-4, but I count 5. Allison Frazier, right-handed hitter against Brooklyn Brennan. That high fastball, hard to catch up with that when she swings and misses for strike one. Frazier hit by a pitch and scored in the second inning. Driven in on a single by Hannah Speed and struck out swinging in the third. Right-handed batter stands about midway in the box, front to back, swings and hits it foul. Apparently cleared the roof over our heads here, didn't hear it hit. And the count is 1-1. Frazier, a .473 hitter, 35 base hits for the Lady Cats, including 3 homers. Outfield straightaway, medium depth. It's a 7-5 ball game. Lady Cats have a run here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brannon over the top with the windup and a fastball is high to Allison Frazier. 2-1 the count. Gracie Thompson at second, Braylee Blevins at first. Brannon checking the wristband for the pitch. Over the top with the windup, swing and a miss at a fastball. And that is strike 3 to Allison Frazier. And she can't catch up with that Brooklyn Brannon fastball. And the Lady Cats settle for 1 run. Addison Woodall coming in to score on a bunt by Gracie Thompson out in front of home plate. And the Lady Cats leave runners at first and second base. So it's 7-5. Bullard as we go to the top of the 6th inning. And this is Lady Cats softball on KSST. Lady Cats softball on KSST. And we are going to the top of the 6th inning here with Denham Bowles, Hudson Walker, and Lila Robertson coming up for Bullard. 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order. To face Hannah Speed. Denham Bowles is 0 for 2. She grounded out to third in the 2nd inning and struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. Hannah Speed, first pitch, and it's off Speed's glove. And the second baseman, Braylee Blevins, comes in, makes a nice play, and the throw to first base just in time to get Denham Bowles 1-4-3. So 1 out and nobody on Hudson Walker, the center fielder, or is that, no, she is the center fielder. Coming up now, hard to read my handwriting there for a moment. Center fielder Hudson Walker, right-handed batter against Hannah Speed. Top of the 6th inning. Fastball in there for a call strike. And it is 0-1 to Hudson Walker. She was robbed of a hit by Baylor Boatman. Leaping catch on a line drive in the 2nd inning and grounded out to shortstop in the 4th inning. Outfield straightaway and medium depth. Off-speed pitch misses outside for ball 1 to Hudson Walker. Again, the Lady Cats getting ready to play Wills Point in a bi-district best-of-3 series starting Thursday evening at 6 at Community High School in Nevada. We'll have that broadcast for you on KSST. Game 2 Friday night at 7 or Friday evening. Pitch is high for a ball. And it is 2-1 to Hudson Walker. Game 3, of course, would be played Friday night after Game 2, if necessary. Bullard getting ready to play Vider in a bi-district series. Here's a pitch hit into the net behind home plate. And the count to Hudson Walker is 1-2. Lady Cats around the infield. Baylor Boatman at third, Gracie Thompson at short, Braylee Blevins at second base, Addison Woodall at first. And the 1-2 pitch, just got a piece of it, hit it foul, I think off the mask of Lady Cat catcher Shaylee Friddle, and the count holds at 1-2. Outfield, KK Montgomery in left, Allison Frazier in center, Claire Thompson in right field. And as we said, Shaylee Friddle is the catcher. 1-2 pitch by Hannah Speed. And just missed outside and at the knees, maybe just slightly below the knees. And the count goes to 2-2. Nobody on base. 1 out. Top of the 6th. And here's a high pop-up, maybe in play. And Shaylee Friddle and first baseman Addison Woodall converging about halfway down the first baseline, right in front of the net. And neither one of them can make the play. Either one might have, but not communicating especially well there. The ball falls harmlessly to the dirt. So the count's still at 2-2 here to Hudson Walker, the center fielder, right-handed batter against the right-hander Hannah Speed. Speed with the pitch, and that's a ball for a base on balls here. So that count was at 3-2. Scoreboards showed 2-2, but It's a base on balls allowed by Hannah Speed.
Now hitting number 8, the catcher, Lila Robertson.
And let's see how many walks she has allowed. 1, 2, both in the first inning there. So that is her third walk allowed. Hannah Speed, the junior pitcher for the Lady Cats. What a record she has. Here is Lila Robertson, the catcher, number 9 hitter, trying to get a bunt down, and sends it foul back into the net behind home plate for strike 1. Runner at first and 1 out. Bullard leading here in the top of the 6th inning. Top of the order, Kirsten Malone, the shortstop, is on deck. Lady Cats looking for the double play with Gracie Thompson at short and Braylee Blevins at second in a couple of steps. Bunt to third base. Baylor Boatman throws it past the first baseman, or Addison Woodall was not able to come up with the catch anyway. Boatman fielded it in good shape, but the throw gets past Addison Woodall at first. And Walker goes to third, and Lila Robertson on at second base. And we're going to rule that as of right now an E5 on Baylor Boatman for the throw to first base. Boatman had come in a couple of steps at third base looking for the bunt. She fielded it in great shape, but somehow that throw, which looked like a strong throw, got past Addison Woodall and went down the right field line. So runners at second and third. In the top of the order, Kirsten Malone coming up for Bullard. Conference on the mound right now involving Wildcats, Lady Cats head coach David Carrillo, his pitcher Hannah Speed, and the infielders along with catcher Shaylee Friddle. And taking the opportunity for a conference down the third base line, Bullard head coach Julie Murray. And the batter who's about to step in, Kirsten Malone, and a couple of other Lady Panthers, the runners on base, Hudson Walker and Lila Robertson.
Now hitting number 6, the shortstop.
So Kirsten Malone coming up now. She is officially 0 for 2. She walked, stole a base, and scored in the first, grounded out to short in the third, flew out to right field in the fourth inning. Malone, a right-handed hitter. Big situation here. 2 runners on at second and third with 1 out. Hannah Speed rocks back, in with the pitch. Check swing, but not sure she got a bat on it or not, but anyway, it's strike 1. Sounded like she might have tipped it, so 0-1 the count. Lady Cats have all they can handle here with these Bullard Lady Panthers. 25, 7, and 1 coming in. Swinging a ball hit foul over the net down the third baseline, and the count goes to 0-2 on Kirsten Malone. Center fielder Allison Frazier, a couple of steps over into right center. Left fielder KK Montgomery pretty far off the line in left. Claire Thompson straight away in right. 0-2 pitch. Hit foul into the net directly behind home plate, and it is 0-2. Texas Rangers baseball coming up later tonight on KSST. The Rangers in Seattle. They'll be playing the Seattle Mariners. First pitch about half an hour from now. We'll see if this game is over by then. May not be. But we will join the Rangers in progress if that's the case. 1 out, runners at second and third. Speed into the wind. And the pitch way up high, and Shaylee Friddle has to get up out of her crouch to pull that one down. 1-2 the count to Kirsten Malone, the leadoff hitter for Bullard. On deck, Brooklyn Brannon, the pitcher. Hannah Speed, who has thrown a lot of pitches tonight. Of course, that is not the issue in softball that it is in baseball. And the pitch is up high for a ball. 2-2 the count to Kirsten Malone. Hannah Speed checking her infielders. Back to the rubber now. Juggles that ball in her right hand. Here's the pitch. And the ball's hit down the right side. That's going to be close. As to whether it is fair or foul, I believe that was caught by Braley Blevins. Had been tagging and scoring on that catch by Blevins in foul territory, I think. But it is a run here for... It is a run for Bullard. Coming in to score is Hudson Walker. And that is a sacrifice fly then, or a sacrifice pop-up to Braley Blevins. Give an RBI to Kirsten Malone. It's 8-4 Bullard. Hannah Speed in with the pitch. Fastball is off the plate, and that is ball one to Brooklyn Brannon, who is 2 for 3. Infield hit in the first, singled and scored in the third. Foul pop up to third base in the 5th inning. So we have a runner at third base. 2 out. Brannon the hitter. 1-0 pitch. Fastball for a strike just above the belt, I'd say, and it is 1-1 to Brooklyn Brannon. Number 2 hitter in the batting order. That catch a moment ago by Braley Blevins. It was really close as to whether it was going to land on the line in fair territory or foul territory. I believe she did catch it a step into foul territory, actually out of our view. Here's the pitch high for a ball. Because the visitors' dugout, the Bullard dugout, down the first baseline obscured our view of the catch. But Braley Blevins made a nice running catch. And then coming to score, tagging up, was Hudson Walker. Now runner at third, 2-1 pitch. Inside for a ball, and it goes to 3-1 here on Brooklyn Brannon. 2 out in the inning. A run across. Hannah Speed looking in for the sign and into the windup. And there's ball 4 outside. Brooklyn Brannon goes to first base. That is the 4th walk allowed by Hannah Speed. And Peyton Walker coming up now for the Lady Panthers with runners at first and third and a run in. Left-handed hitter Peyton Walker, and she has slapped 2 base hits in the last 2 at-bats. She runs up in the batter's box, kind of has a style reminiscent of Ichiro Suzuki in the day for the Seattle Mariners, and she runs up this time but takes a pitch outside and low for ball 1. So Walker struck out in the first, singled and scored in the third, singled and scored in the 5th. She is 2 for 3. Number 3 hitter in the batting order. Somewhat open stance, stands up near the front of the box. Hannah Speed comes in with the pitch. She slaps this one to the left side, but going back is Gracie Thompson to make the catch at shortstop for Sulphur Springs. So a run across in the inning, the top of the 6th, and we go to the bottom of the 6th with Bullard leading Sulphur Springs 8-4. This is Lady Cat Softball on KSST. Lady Cat Softball on KSST. We are going to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Lady Cats down 8-4, and I do have a correction to make in the 5th inning.
Leading off for the Lady
Addison
Cats,
Woodall,
7,
whom I
base,
thought had scored on a bunt by Gracie Thompson, was ruled out on the tag by the catcher, and I thought the catcher had missed that tag. And so I had registered that as a run for the Lady Cats, but that turns out not to be so. So it is, in fact, 8-4, with Bullard leading Sulphur Springs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. At the top of the order, Baylor Boatman coming up for Sulphur Springs, and she swings at the first pitch, hits it foul, and it is 0-1 to Baylor Boatman. Boatman flew out to center field in the first, walked and scored on a throwing error in the 2nd inning, singled in the 4th inning, and then was forced out on a nice play by the pitcher, Brooklyn Brannon, 1-6. Shortstop covering second, Kirsten Malone. Boatman takes a ball. Now it is 1-1 to Baylor Boatman, Lady Cat senior third baseman. And the pitch, again, Brannon struggling with her control. And sends a pitch all the way back to the net behind home plate, and it is 2-1. She has hit 2 batters tonight. Allison Frazier, who came in to score, and then Addison Woodall was hit by the pitch in the 5th inning. And as we say, she was put out at home plate on that bunt by Gracie Thompson. Pitch is low for a ball, and it is now 3-1 to Baylor Boatman. That was a sensational play by Lila Robertson, which we commented on at the time. She jumped out and fielded that bunt by Gracie Thompson, came back to the plate, and I thought that Woodall had slid in safely. Pitch is swung on and hit foul down the right field line. And not out of play, but out of the reach of the second baseman Peyton Walker and the right fielder Kaylin Mercer, trying to make the play. Also the first baseman Denham Bowles going for that ball. And the count remains now, or the count is at 3-2 on Baylor Boatman for Sulphur Springs, a .430 hitter. 37 hits, 3 homers, and 15 RBIs for the senior Baylor Boatman. Right-handed batter. Lady Cats down by 4 here, and not many outs to go. And there's a ball 4 down low. So Boatman on at first base with a walk. I have that as 6 walks now allowed by Brooklyn Brannon. And Hannah Speed coming up for the Lady Cats. Speed, the top hitter, and that's an understatement for Sulphur Springs, a .641 hitter with 54 hits, now 55. She had a hit in the 2nd inning and drove in a run. Runner at first. Third baseman and first baseman both in a couple of steps, and Speed hits the first pitch foul down the right field line. Strike 1. Speed walked and scored in the first. Single and an RBI in the 2nd inning as she went with the pitch to right field. Punched that ball through the right side. And then the pinch runner, Chloe Johnson, was out at third base that inning on the same play in which Baylor Boatman scored from third on a throwing error by the catcher into left field. And then Speed reached base on a fielder's choice in the 4th inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on. And the ball in the air to left field, and coming over toward the left field line to make the play on a running catch is Kenzie Roberts for Bullard. So that's a put out. That is 1 out now.
Hitting number 2, the catcher, Shaylee Friddle.
And Shaylee Friddle coming up for Sulphur Springs. 8-4. Bullard leading the Lady Cats here at Lady Cats Park. 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Shaylee Friddle reached base on an error in the 1st inning, walked and scored in the 3rd inning, and singled in the 4th inning, so she is officially 1 for 2. And swings at the first pitch, hits it foul, out of play down the right field line. 0-1 to the sophomore Shaylee Friddle. The runner at first and 1 out. Friddle, a .500 hitter coming into the game with 40 base hits. Second on the team in base hits to Hannah Speed, including 17 doubles, and she by far leads the Lady Cats in that category. 0-1. Misses away for ball 1, and it is 1-1 to Shaylee Friddle. Claire Thompson, the right fielder, on deck. A couple of home runs in this game for Bullard. A 3-run homer by Kenzie Roberts and a 2-run homer by Carter Swanson. And that's the difference in the game. And the pitch, a fastball in. And it is 2-1 to Shaylee Friddle, with Baylor Boatman at first base. Outfield is straightaway and medium depth for Shaylee Friddle. Waiting on the 2-1 pitch here from Brooklyn Brannon. Over the top with the wide, and Friddle swinging, hits it foul to the right side down the right field line, out of play, and the count is at 2-2. Lady Cats getting ready to face Wills Point in a bi-district best-of-3 series starting Thursday night at Community. 6 p.m. We'll have the broadcast on KSST. Wills Point 22-9 for the season. 2-2 pitch. Up and in, and Friddle handcuffed on that one, swings and misses. First strike 3. And there's 7 strikeouts now for Brooklyn Brennan. So Claire Thompson now comes up with 2 out and a runner at first base, and the Lady Cats down 8-4. Thompson singled and drove in a run in the first, walked in the third, hit into a double play, an unusual double play. In the fourth inning, pitch is down and away for a ball. Ground ball to third base. The third baseman, Emery Baker, fielded it, stepped on third base for a force out on the runner, Chloe Johnson at second base, and then threw to first base to just get Claire Thompson maybe by half a step. And the next pitch misses away for a ball. 1-1 the count to Claire Thompson. Claire with a .467 batting average and now 29 base hits for the Lady Cats this season. 2 out and a runner at first. And she steps out. And she comes back in now. Lady Cat junior right fielder, crouching stance, somewhat open stance. Pitches all the way back to the net again, over the head and over the mitt of Lila Robertson, the catcher, and going on down to second base is Baylor Boatman, where she could possibly score on a base hit to the outfield. Lady Cats only have now 4 outs to work with here, trailing a very good Bullard team, 8-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brennan, pitch, and that's a fastball at the knees on the outside part of the plate for a strike. 1-2 to Claire Thompson. Addison Woodall, the freshman, with a lot of power on deck if Claire Thompson can get on base. Thompson patiently waiting on the pitch. Over the top with the windup, and a swing and a miss by Claire. Again, the scoreboard had shown a 1-2 count, but that apparently was not the case. So now scoreboard showing a 3-2 count on Claire Thompson. Waiting on the pitch. And Thompson hits it into right center field, and it will fall for a base hit. And around third base and in to score is Baylor Boatman. So a big base hit for Claire Thompson. That's her second RBI of the night, and that'll give her 30 RBIs for the season. The right fielder, Hudson Walker, going to her left, not able to track it down. And coming in to score is Boatman, and Lady Cats down by 3 runs here, 8-5. In the bottom of the 6th inning, and Addison Woodall coming up. Number 5 hitter in the batting order for Sulphur Springs. She is 0 for 2, hit by a pitch. Reaching base in the 5th inning. Pitch by Brennan. Windmills that arm, and she gets it in there for a strike at the knees on the outside edge to the left-handed batting Addison Woodall. Addison Woodall fouled out to first base in the first inning, or fouled out to third base in the first inning, flew out to right in the third. Hit by a pitch in the 5th inning. Brennan over the top with the windup, and Woodall hits a line drive into right field, turns on it. Claire Thompson round second, will go to third, and the throw gets by at third base. Thompson will hold on. David Carrillo holds her up there as the throw got away and went down the third baseline. I think David thinking maybe he should have sent her right now, but I think it was a good decision. I think it would have been a very close play at home plate, but on that throw getting away at third base, Addison Woodall goes up to second base. So the Lady Cats now with runners at second and third with 2 out. A run across in the inning. KK Montgomery, originally in the lineup here, Jersey Fowler hit for her and struck out in the 5th inning. It looks like Jersey Fowler will come up again here in the 6th inning. In softball, you're allowed to pinch hit for a player and the player stays in the game. So I believe KK Montgomery has stayed in left field for Sulphur Springs, but it looks like Jersey Fowler will come up again to bat. With runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 out and a run across, and the Lady Cats down 8-5. That base hit by Addison Woodall was a rocket over the head of the first baseman Denham Bowles into right field. Throw went to 3rd. Claire Thompson easily safe there, and the throw got away and went off down the left field line a little ways, but David Carrillo decided to keep Claire Thompson at 3rd base. As I say, I think that was a good decision. She might have scored, but she might not have scored. So you're down by 3 with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Still a good chance to get a couple of runs across here. Jersey Fowler, the freshman, will bat. Struck out in the 5th inning, batting for KK Montgomery. And the first pitch is a fastball low for ball 1. Claire Thompson at 3rd, Addison Woodall at 2nd base, 2 out, bottom of the 6th inning. Lady Cats down 8-5. Center fielder Hudson Walker, a step or so over into right center field, a little bit of a gap in left center. Pitch to Walker. Fastball misses. And it is 2-0 to Jersey Fowler, Lady Cat freshman. Batting .377 coming into the game. 17 base hits and 45 at-bats. Couple of home runs. 18 runs batted in. Pitch by Brannon. High for ball 3, up around the shoulders. So Brannon again has struggled with her control all night long. And it's 3-0 to Jersey Fowler with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 2 out. And the pitch. Foul back into the net. And it's 3-1. Just off the end of the bat. A lot of backspin on that one. Runners return to 3rd and 2nd. Claire Thompson at 3rd, Addison Woodall at 2nd base. Just about all the fans have stayed here in the ballpark with a really competitive game and a lot of action here tonight between the Lady Cats and the Bullard Lady Panthers. Jersey stepping out of the batter's box, takes a practice cut back in there now with the 3-1 count and 2 out, runners at 2nd and 3rd. Pitch, swung on and missed, and it goes to 3-2. That was a pitch down around the knees, looked like it might have been a changeup. And it is 3-2 to Jersey Fowler. Gracie Thompson, the senior shortstop, on deck. Fowler, the tying run, with runners at 2nd and 3rd. And Bullard leading 8-5. Pitch now over the top. And there's a swing and a miss and a fastball on the inside edge. And I have that now as 8 strikeouts for Brooklyn Brannon in the ball game. Lady Cats leave 2 runners on. They get 1 run across here in the 6th inning on the RBI single by Claire Thompson. Going to the top of the 7th, it's Bullard 8, Lady Cats 5. This is Lady Cats softball on KSST. Going to the 7th inning with the Lady Cats down 8-5. Hannah Speed apparently going to go the distance here for Sulphur Springs tonight. She's back out there for the 7th inning. And she will face Carter Swanson, number 4 batter in the batting order. Emery Baker, the number 5 hitter, and the number 6 hitter, Kenzie Roberts. Swanson and Roberts have both gone deep on Hannah Speed in the game here tonight. Bullard leading 8-5. Carter Swanson, right-handed batter, and the first pitch, a breaking ball in there for a strike, and it is 0-1 to Swanson. She walked and stole a base in the first, had an RBI single and scored in the 3rd, and a 2-run homer. A monster shot to left center field in the 5th inning. Pitch by Speed, hit hard to 3rd base. Nice play by Baylor Boatman, up with it throw to first base for the putout on Carter Swanson. Ball hit sharply to the left of Baylor Boatman. Quick move to get the glove down, and then the easy throw over to first base. One out, nobody on.
19, third baseman Emery Baker.
Emery Baker, the third baseman, number 5 hitter in the batting order, comes up now for Bullard. She struck out swinging to end the first inning, had that 3-run homer to left center field in the third inning, and the first pitch, a fastball called strike. Kenzie Robert fouled out to the first baseman in the 5th inning, so she is 1 for 3. Pitch is hit foul outside of the third base bag, and it's an 0-2 count here on Emery Baker. Well, I think I was looking at Kenzie Roberts' line here just a moment ago when I gave you the at-bats for Kenzie Roberts or Emery Baker. And here's a pitch inside, and it's 1-2. Baker sacrifice fly in the first, struck out swinging in the third, struck out swinging in the 5th. It was Kenzie Roberts that had the 3-run homer in the third inning. 2-2 count to Emery Baker. The pitch, check swing, and an appeal to the first base umpire, and he says no swing. And the count now has gone to 3-2 on Emery Baker. 1 out and nobody on. Hannah Speed, Lady Cat Jr. Looking in for the sign, rocks back, the pitch, and this one hit a ton but foul down the left field line into the night. Out of play, and it goes, or it holds at 3-2, the count. Baker 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a sacrifice fly in the game. Right-handed batter facing Hannah Speed. She stands about midway in the box, front to back. Speed ready for the 3-2 pitch once again. Rocks back, here's the pitch, and it bounces in. And again, looking at the scoreboard showing a 3-2 count, but apparently that was not correct because she's still in the box, so we still have apparently a 3-2 count here. Speed comes in with the pitch, and that one is shot through the left side, splits the third baseman Baylor Boatman and the shortstop Gracie Thompson, neither with a chance to make a play on that one. Hard single to left. Runner at first and 1 out.
Now batting number 2, left fielder Kenzie Roberts.
Kenzie Roberts now, the left fielder. It is Roberts that had that 3-run homer in the third inning to left center field. Struck out in the first, popped out foul in the 5th inning. Little conference between Roberts and her third base coach and head coach Julie Murray. And now we're ready to go with a runner at first base. Emery Baker, that sharp single to left just a moment ago. First pitch. Misses high for a ball, and it is 1-0. 8-5 Bullard, top of the 7th. Again, Rangers baseball coming up shortly. The Rangers in Seattle should be starting just about now, and we will join the Rangers in progress once this game is over. Game has run quite long for a softball game here tonight. Pitch is in, and the runner goes and slides safely with a stolen base. That is Emery Baker. Pitch was down and in. Shaylee Friddle came up throwing. Pretty good throw down to second base, but sliding in. Emery Baker with the steal, which you don't see all that often in girls softball. So runner at second base with 1 out. Bullard leading 8-5. Scoreboard shows a 2-0 count on the hitter. And there's an off-speed pitch in for a strike. And that is 2-1 now to carry Kenzie Roberts. Lady Cats need to cut off any possible further scoring by Bullard here in the top of the 7th inning. Swung on, this ball hit to left center field, and it falls in and is all the way to the wall. They're going to hold the runner at third base, and it's a double here for Kenzie Roberts. Between the left fielder, what I believe is still KK Montgomery, my glasses on, that is KK out there in left field. And the center fielder, Allison Frazier, one hopped the wall. And the third base coach and head coach Julie Murray holds Emery Baker at third base. So runners at second and third, one out, and a conference taking place, two conferences taking place, one in the pitcher's circle for the Lady Cats, and another down the third baseline with the Bullard base runners and the hitter. Denham Bowles, the first baseman, number 7 hitter in the batting order coming up, with Kenzie Roberts at second on that double, and Emery Baker at third base. A little surprised that Julie Murray, the third base coach, held up Emery Baker at third base. But she did. 8-5 is the score, with Bullard leading by 3 runs. Top of the 7th inning. Lady Cats really cannot afford to give up any further runs. First pitch is a ball outside to Denham Bowles. 1-0 the count. Baylor Boatman in several steps at third base. Addison Woodall now coming in at first base, guarding against the bunt. Shortstop Gracie Thompson, Braylee Blevins in a couple of steps. Really have to cut off this run here. Pitch is away for a ball.
Hey, make her work for it.
Denham Bowles 0 for 3 in the game. Runners at second and third. Pitch, call, strike, good fastball. And the count 1-2 to Denham Bowles, the first baseman. She grounded out to third in the second inning, struck out swinging in the third. Out 1 to 4 to 3 off the glove of Hannah Speed, out to Braylee Blevins at second, and on to Addison Woodall at first in the 6th inning. Pitches a bunt down the third baseline, and the runner charging down the line, but the bunt is foul outside the line, about midway between the line and the Lady Cats dugout. And the count holds at 1-2 to Denham Bowles. Runners at second and third, one out. Bullard up 8-5, top of the 7th inning. Lady Cats looking to cut off that run from third base. And the pitch swung on and hit foul, right side, out of play. Count remains at 1-2. I have Bullard now with 9 hits in the game and 8 runs, and the pitch is way up high as Shaylee Friddle has to come up out of her crouch to bring that one in, and it's 2-2. Speed looking at her wristband after looking into the dugout, leaning in. And rocks back. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, hit off the fist. Pop up in foul territory. And Baylor Boatman over to make the catch in front of the Lady Cats dugout. Big out there. Foul pop up taken by Baylor Boatman. And now 2 out with runners at second and third. And Hudson Walker, the center fielder, coming up for
number 18 center
Bullard.
Fielder Hudson Walker.
Number 8 hitter in the batting order. Emery Baker at third base. Kenzie Roberts at second base. Baker singled and stole second. Roberts doubled to left center field. Baker held at third. Pitch by Speed. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Shaylee Friddle, and that could have been a bad deal for the Lady Cats if that had gotten past Friddle with the runner at third base. But Friddle very adeptly blocking that pitch in the dirt. Speed rocks back, windmills the arm, and with the pitch, and it misses inside, and it's 2-0 to the number 8 hitter, Hudson Walker, robbed of a hit on a leaping catch by Baylor Boatman at third in the second, grounded out to short in the fourth, walked and scored in the sixth inning. Right-handed batter against the right-hander, Hannah Speed. Outfield, straight away, and medium depth. 2-0 pitch. That's called strike on the outside edge, and it is 2-1 to Hudson Walker. Lila Robertson, the catcher, and the number 9 hitter is on deck. Lady Cats again can ill afford to allow any more runs. Down by 3 in the top of the 7th. 2 out, 2-1 count. Runners at second and third. Speed the pitch. That's a call strike. Fastball up around the belt, caught the outside edge, and the count 2-2. Wind rippling that American flag out in center field just slightly at the moment. Pitch swung on and hit foul down the third baseline over to the Lady Cats dugout. Count remains at 2-2. In the top of the 7th inning, Lady Cats will send up the bottom of the order. Gracie Thompson, Braylee Blevins, and Allison Frazier. But all of them capable of getting on base and making something happen. Speed, the 2-2 pitch. Fastball, call, strike 3. That's a great job of pitching out of trouble by Hannah Speed. And the top of the 7th inning, she leaves runners at second and third. We go to the bottom of the 7th with Bullard leading the Lady Cats 8-5, and this is Lady Cats softball on KSST. Lady Cats softball brought to you by Alliance Bank, BT Medical, City National Bank, Masco Equipment, Wesley House Assisted Living, Farm Country, Hooten's Hardware, CPI Technologies, and the University Interscholastic League. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning with Bullard leading the Lady Cats 8-5. Gracie Thompson, Braylee Blevins, and Allison Frazier coming up for Sulphur Springs. And they will be facing Brooklyn Brannon. Tall, lanky pitcher. Actually, this is a change now. I see we have a new pitcher coming into the game. This is let me check the roster. This will be Hudson Walker, the center fielder, coming in to pitch for Bullard. Hudson Walker, the center fielder, coming in to pitch.
Now pitching for Bullard, number 18, Hudson Walker.
And we'll see if we can pick up who went to center field. May have been the previous pitcher, Brooklyn Brannon. And the first pitch in here is fouled by
the Lady Cats, number 11, shortstop, Gracie Thompson.
Gracie Thompson is the hitter. Thompson struck out in the first, walked in the third, reached base on a bunt in the 5th inning, in which Addison Woodall was tagged out at home plate. And I first thought that she had been safe at home plate, but she was tagged out. But a bunt single for Gracie Thompson. Weak swing here, fooled on that pitch. And it is 0-2 to Gracie Thompson. Gracie, one of the 3 Lady Cats seniors, .375 hitter coming into the game with 20 base hits. Right-handed hitter. And that is a call, strike 3 on the outside edge to Gracie Thompson.
Now batting number 9, second baseman Braylee Blevins.
That is 9 strikeouts now for Bullard pitching in the ballgame. The first for Hudson Walker, who has come in from center field to pitch here in the 7th inning. Now Braylee Blevins with 1 out and nobody on. Lady Cats down 8-5. And she hits this one to the left side and past the shortstop, Kirsten Malone into left field for a base hit. So Lady Cats have got something going here.
Now hitting number
Second
8,
hit of the ball game for
Allison
Braylee
Frazier.
Blevins. So she is 2 for 4 in the game. That'll be her 32nd base hit of the season. 33rd base hit, but they won in the 5th inning. Allison Frazier, the center fielder, number 9 hitter in the batting order. And barring a double play now, Lady Cats will get Bullard Boatman, the leadoff hitter, up to bat. And if they can get one other hitter on, Hannah Speed will bat. First pitch is down and in for a ball to Allison Frazier. Frazier hit by a pitch and scored in the 2nd inning, struck out swinging in the 3rd and the 5th. Frazier, a .473 hitter with 35 base hits. Hudson Walker in with the pitch, and here's a fly ball to right field, and the right fielder, Kaylin Mercer, coming on to make the catch. Second baseman Peyton Walker also going out, but it was Mercer who made the catch, and the Lady Cats are down to their final out.
Batting number 7, third baseman Baylor Boatman.
Baylor Boatman, the leadoff hitter and the third baseman coming up for Sulphur Springs. 8-5, Bullard leading by 3 runs. Baylor Boatman could get on. You could get Hannah Speed up as the tying run. Runner at first, 2 out. Swing and a miss, and a pitch down and away to Baylor Boatman for strike 1. Boatman flew out to center in the first, walked and scored in the 2nd inning, singled in the 4th, walked and scored in the 6th inning. Outfield straightaway and medium depth. Walker, the right-handed pitcher, big windmill wind up and in with a very good fastball swung on and missed by Boatman. Strike 2, 0-2 the count. Runner at first, 2 out. Bullard leading 8-5. Pitch, hit on the ground to shortstop, 3 hops. Play is to second base for the force out, and that is the ball game. Blevins goes out 6-4. Boatman, a fielder's choice, and the Lady Cats go down here tonight 8-5 to the Bullard Lady Panthers. 2 teams both go into the playoffs. 2 teams ranked in the top 25 in the state. Bullard ranked 25th. Lady Cats ranked number 14. But Bullard gets the best of it tonight, 8-5 over the Lady Cats. We'll come back and wrap this up when Lady Cats softball continues after this on KSST. Lady Cats lose at 8-5 to Bullard here tonight. Hannah Speed goes the distance for Sulphur Springs. She gives up 9 hits, strikes out 7, walks 4 in the ball game this evening. And a couple of homers by Bullard. The difference in the game, a 3-run homer by Kenzie Roberts in the 3rd inning and a 2-run homer by Carter Swanson in the 5th inning. For Sulphur Springs, I was just looking at the hits for the Wildcats. I have them with 8, but let me give me just a moment to check on that. That's going to be 9 base hits for Sulphur Springs this evening. Great pitching, or really, effective pitching, I would say, by Brooklyn Brannon for Bullard. She struggled with her control all night, but she ends up striking out 8. And then Hudson Walker comes in and strikes out 1 in the 9th inning. So they had 9 strikeouts against Sulphur Springs hitters. 6 walks allowed in the ball game by the Bullard Lady Panthers, all of those allowed by Brooklyn Brannon. For Sulphur Springs, Claire Thompson, the hitting hero tonight. She was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, a couple of RBI singles for the Lady Cats. And Lady Cats had their opportunities, but could not take advantage of all of them, and they lose to a very good Bullard team here this evening, 8-5. Bullard goes to 26-7 for the season with a tie. Again, they are 25th ranked in the state. They will be in by-district play against Vidor next week. I believe Bullard is 4A Division II. Lady Cats will be in 4A Division I. They are now 23-6 for the season, 14th ranked in the state. They will be in by-district play against Wills Point Thursday night, 6 o'clock at Community High School in Nevada, with Game 2 Friday evening at 5 p.m. and the third game to follow Friday evening if necessary. Wills Point will come into that game with a 22-9 record unless they also have a warm-up game which they might win or lose, but a very good record as of now, 22-9 for Wills Point. Lady Cats beat them in a by-district series last season, 11-2 and 27-6, but I do not look for blowouts like that next week. Wildcat baseball team lost to Lindale on the road in a non-district game last night, 11-0. Wildcats had a 7-game winning streak snapped with that loss. Now they have a very big district game against Texarkana Pleasant Grove Tuesday night at 7, trailing Texarkana Pleasant Grove by 1 game in the district standings. Pleasant Grove, the number 2 ranked team in 4A in the state. And we will have the broadcast of that game for you Tuesday night at 7 on KSST, although someone mentioned to me that the game had been moved to 8 o'clock. Not sure why or if that is so. We will check on that for you and let you know. Lady Cats softball brought to you by Alliance Bank, BT Medical, City National Bank, Masco Equipment, Wesley House Assisted Living, Farm Country, Hooten's Hardware, CPI Technologies, and the University Interscholastic League. James Terry, our producer. Matt Jensen, our technical director and video producer. You'll be able to see this game later on YouTube and Channel 18. Tony Flippin, our expert commentator. Tony was with us for the first couple of innings, but had another event that he had to go to tonight, so I had to struggle through the remainder of the game. What turned out to be a very long high school softball game. This game right at 3 hours here tonight. It's rare for a 7-inning softball game to go that long. So the Lady Cats lose it to Bullard 8-5 in this warm-up for the playoffs. And I'm John Mark Dempsey, and we say good night to you from Lady Cats Park, and Rangers baseball is next.